right, we got the famous Lillo Brancato back in. You got what? 3 movies in pre-production, 3 movies in post-production, and filming too.
Yeah, well, everything is great. As you see there, the film Sleepyhead. We spoke a little bit about it last time. We completed it. We shot it throughout the month of November. Went back for a couple of pickup shots, but it's in the can. They just started editing it. And there's really no rush to release it at this point, just because we want to get it in the film festivals. And I think this year it may be a little too late to submit it for Tribeca, which we want.
Because Tribeca is everything, right?
Yeah, well, Tribeca's it's really for us, being that we're from New York filmmakers, and the association with De Niro. And, I can't really say who else is in the movie, that other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind of want to keep that
it quiet.
Yeah. But that's another reason why it would be really cool to have us at the Tribeca Film Festival, just for that. You know what I mean?
And what exactly is the Tribeca, if people don't know?
Well, the Tribeca Film, first of all, the word Tribeca, you know what it means?
No.
Triangle below canal. It's the little area. You got Canal Street, and that little triangle, that's Tribeca.
Like Canal Street, where you get all the Chinese stuff?
Right. Okay. And that little triangle past that little bit, that's Tribeca. Tribeca, it started right after 9/11. De Niro and Jane Rosenthal, who's his producing partner. She did Bronx Tale. Everything that Bob does, she does with him. And they kind of started that film festival to bring life to New York again after everything that had happened. And it's been great. It's been very successful. And it's been going now, 20 years. So
how are you doing 8 different projects at one time? I mean, I know some of them are done or some of them haven't started, but there's still scripts that you have to learn. One that you can't talk about, but you can see the picture. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of...
Well, it's not 8, but it's a little less than that. But, this one, that's called Sleepyhead, and that one's called I'm on Fire. We shot that before the pandemic, and the reason why it's taking so long is because the filmmaker is actually Australian. And when this all happened, U.S. was really bad. As you remember in the beginning, Australia wasn't bad at all. So he left.
Well, in Australia, they pretty much secluded everybody and put them in their own little town, and nobody could come in or out.
Yeah.
And then they stayed like that, and their rate was like nothing.
Yeah, right.
And then they thought that it was better, and they opened it up, and boom, it went off with the O one.
Yeah.
But I think they settled it down now.
But that's why that took so long. That's with Jamie Lynn Sigler. I play an abusive dad. Sal, the character's very relatable to me. My dad was in construction, as you can see from the picture, the overalls.
Slide over one to the slide. And then, what's this one called?
It's called I'm on Fire.
I'm on Fire, okay.
I have dried up concrete on my face. These are my 2 sons. And this was a really, really good role for me. It was something much different than I had ever done. And it was really awesome working with everyone there.
Mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo's got a mustache.
Yeah, people ask me, is it real? I was like, yeah. Well, at first I grew the beard. And then, I waited till, the last second. I'm not going to walk around with a mustache if I don't have to.
What about the hair, though? Go to the next one, Rob.
No, the hair. Whew. Look at that.
Yeah, how'd you get the hair there?
Is
that your hair?
Yeah.
That is your hair.
The director said to me, he said...
Dude, you look 90.
Yeah, the director said to me, he said, his name is Michael Spiccia.
Yeah.
And David Stern, they wrote it. And Michael, Dave's best guys around, such nice guys. And he just, hey, mate. He said, can you grow your hair?
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy.
FaceTime me a couple weeks to see, and then I did. I'm like, he's like, did you start growing your hair, mate? I'm like, yeah, that's all there is, brother.
That's not bad though.
Well, you know what? For the character, it works.
It works perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Well, how old were they trying to get you to look?
I don't care about looking handsome in film. I don't. That's I want to come across. I want to come across as something different every time. Like, wow, that was Lillo. Wow, that was awesome. I didn't know he could do that. So I don't care if you know what I mean? They have to smear feces on my face. If that's what it is, that's what it is, you know?
One of the big things you were talking about was you didn't want to get stuck into a role. Like we had talked about other actors that kind of get stuck into a role. And one of the movies you did that you were really proud of was the Mexico movie.
Right, Made in Mexico.
Made in Mexico, because that was completely opposite from the Bronx Tale. So when you went to, get the role for the Mexico movie or whatever else, how hard was it to get it, being that you had just come off a monster movie as Calogero?
Well, it was years later, but the guy who wrote and directed it, his name's Rodney Rinks. He's Mario Lopez's personal hair and makeup guy. And we have mutual friends, Kid Matt Lance and other people from San Diego. That's where he's from. And I think Mario's from there as well, from Chula Vista or whatever. So I was in LA on the Universal lot promoting my documentary at the end of 2018 with Steve Stanulis, who directed me in a film called The Fifth Borough. And he also did my documentary. He was a former member of law enforcement. So it was good to have, him do the documentary, because it's not a puff piece. It's being told kind of from both sides. But as far, so I was there, and Rodney Rinks, we call him Tootie. Hey, Lillo, blah, blah. And he told me I have this film. I had this film where I played a Dominican back in the day. It was okay. It was an Abel Ferrara film. I mean, I thought Abel's direction, Drea Di Matteo, I thought everything was great for myself. I think I could have done better. But back then, I wasn't really focused. I mean, I was coming on set, high on heroin, throwing up. I used to have a bucket every day. Cut! It's like, it's a heroin addict, it's a cocaine addict. So it's like really hard to really, I mean, it was good, but I just know it could have been 1,000 times better if I was really, really focused, like with Made in Mexico.
Now, did the directors know you were all fucked up? They didn't give a fuck.
Well, he was fucked up too. He's Abel Ferrara. He did Bad Lieutenant, King of the... He's sober now, but he was a maniac.
So both you guys were whacked.
Dude, you go inside the bathroom, there's lines on this residue cocaine. So it was a crazy set. But, and the night before I was supposed to start, I overdosed in my room. I got the guy coming over to show me how to cut the heroin before we play in the movie, and I overdosed on it. Told my mother, I just came back from the China Club because I knew I was going to work on the movie for like a month, so I couldn't go out. So I figured, let me do one last hurrah. Tons of coke I sniffed. I had one bag of heroin, just one. And I didn't wake up. That shit was strong. I wake up when they did.
Would they narc you?
Yeah, and did something to my neck. And I look around, you got my doctor, you got paramedics, fire department, my neighbors. Like, everybody was in my room and I thought I was dead, bro.
And you're in the middle of a fucking movie, right?
No, we were about to start.
Oh, you didn't even start
We
yet.
didn't start yet, but I was, I wasn't a heroin addict yet. I liked it. It wasn't habitual. It was more like recreational, but it's so seductive and it's so good because you do cocaine for so long. But then, like, the more you do cocaine, the more of a price that it has. You're paying a high price for nothing because the high that you get becomes more diluted. So it's like you're looking to get that and you're doing more and you're driving yourself nuts. You're coming down and you're like, after a while, like, this shit sucks. Like, it's not the same. Then you discover heroin. I was like, oh, wow. I spent $10. I was fucking high for 2 days. I didn't come down. I slept like a baby. I was able to eat. Where you been? You know what I mean?
But how did it get to that point? I never asked you that because you said you weren't addicted to heroin when you had at the time. You were doing coke, but did it start with like weed or drinking and then it led to coke and then it led to...
Well, it starts, when people say marijuana is a gateway, I don't believe that. Alcohol is a gateway.
Yeah.
People drink alcohol before they smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
When you smoke weed, your guard goes up because you think you have consequential thinking and you think really deeply. You think like, wow, if I do this, this is going to happen or this.
Or you just pass out.
Right. Weed or eat while you're sleeping. Weed, guard goes up. Liquor, guard goes down. You could have been on a diet for a month and a half or you could have been sober. Once you have that drink and you're wired the way I am, there's no way you're going to be able to control it. So that's why I stay away from the alcohol. Because you have a diminished capacity. You don't make good decisions. You're impaired. But I think with marijuana, I'm not saying smoke all day, every single day and make that your life. But if you can kind of maybe a little more than microdose it and use it for what it's for and just to calm your nerves and to really think deeply when you need to focus, I think it can work wonders. And I think it aids in recovery because it's so hard for like, someone in recovery who goes from like shooting fentanyl and smoking crack. And then they're told that now they got to be Gandhi.
Yeah.
You need that. You need that little, the re-entry back to being sober. The weed is you know what I mean?
Because
it's realistic.
Because they call it like say you would do a bag right now. Oh, he's off to the races. So you're in a race. You can't just stop the race and be like, okay, now I'm gonna drink water and watch ABC News every day. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying like I personally don't indulge in
whatever works.
Marijuana, I don't. But I'm saying you're
not against it,
right? I'm definitely a proponent of it. I've seen, like, I work at the treatment center, More Life Recovery in New Jersey.
Good for you.
And a lot of the kids in my group and a lot of the kids at the center, a lot of them smoke weed, and it helps them. You got kids 3, 4, 5 months sober, and they're saying that the weed helps. So listen, if it helps, then use it.
What are you seeing right now? A lot of, other than I would assume fentanyl, right?
Fentanyl's everything.
Everything, really?
I was actually
in everything too. Pills, everything.
Well, now they even put it in weed and cocaine. It's
put it in weed?
Yeah. I was like, how does that? Yeah. I was like, how does that happen? But.
Well, I guess if you put it in indica, it would make sense, right?
I guess.
But I don't understand because it's not.
A microdose will kill you.
Yeah.
I was on, when I got shot and I was in the hospital, they gave me fentanyl because I was a heroin addict. So my tolerance for opiates was so high that they had to give me. Wow. I was sniffing 20 bags a day. I never shot it. I was too vain, but I'm snorting 20 bags a day. That's a lot. But I was speaking to this girl, Amanda, I don't even want to say her name, but she was saying that no one even wants heroin anymore because fentanyl apparently is very white. So when they go on the street and they see anything that's brown or beige, they know that's heroin. Back in the day, that's what you want. Now it's like, get the shit out. I don't want this. Because now it's like this fentanyl is like, what crack cocaine did to this country in the mid-'80s?
Yeah.
That's what fentanyl's doing. It's kind of different, like, because opiates are more of a down, but people are dying. They're not becoming violent and robbing everybody and everything. Like
they're just croaking.
Yeah, they're dying. So, back in the day, they were killing other people, but nowadays they're killing themselves.
Yeah. Now, when you were at the height of your addiction, and say fentanyl was a big thing back then, would you have tossed away the white bag and would have been looking for the fentanyl bag? Because, from the outside looking in, I'm like, are you like, I understand you're in that addiction, but, like people are dying left and right.
But it's so crazy.
But the high is probably 100 times better.
I'll tell you what, when somebody dies, other addicts go look where he or she got it from. That's what they want. I want the strong stuff. They fell out because they had strong stuff. So maybe I won't do a whole bag. I'll only shoot half, but I want to find where he got his shit from.
Now thinking back, it's got to be fucking insane to you, right? Like to look for the bag that's going to kill you. I
would have probably went to the fentanyl just because, not even so much. I was never, like I said, I never shot the dopes. I was more, I wouldn't say I was a fiend, like a dope fiend. I was more, I needed it because I didn't realize how physically dependent I was going to become. But I liked the crack better. So I used to snort the dope just to be able to level out the crack and not be like all weird all day. But I didn't want to shoot. I didn't want to shoot it. It's cheaper to shoot it. And everyone's like, you're spending all this money, dude. You could shoot like 3 bags and you'll be good all day. And I'm like, dude, I'm not putting that. I'm not, listen.
Thank God he didn't go there.
Yeah, I was never, I guess I was too vain. I like to work out. I wanted to show my arms. So I figured if I do this, maybe
you're going to be all banged up with bumps and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, you see kids like in the middle of the summer with thermals on. Oh, yeah, Lee, I'm clean.
Yeah, I had my friend, he overdosed, really good friend. And he would always come, and he would always try to hide it. You know what I mean? Because he knew. I'd be like, what the fuck, Rich? But he would always have cysts like crazy. And his move, it was insane. He'd come in and his arm would always be in a sling. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, I fell. Really? Yeah, okay. And then, or his hand would be because he would run out of spots.
Yeah, yeah.
So he'd end up shooting it like right here.
Yeah, yeah.
So then the next day his hand would be all tied up. Sent him to a therapist. He actually got cleaned up. Met a girl, went to fucking Houston, Texas, couldn't go to the therapist. Boom. 3 months later.
Back.
Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shame, man. Good friend. His dad had called me. He actually had come back here to see his dad. And when his dad came home from work, his son was dead on the kitchen floor. Imagine fucking seeing that.
That's so common nowadays. So
yeah. I mean,
I would have probably went to the fentanyl just because it was cheaper.
More bang for the buck,
yeah.
right?
How much is it streetwise now? Like,
I don't
not
even
the-
know.
not the-
I wouldn't even know where to get it. But the reason why it's so big is because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Like crack cocaine. Cocaine was expensive. So then they made a rock form and were able to sell $5, $10 pieces.
Yeah, but the thing with that is it's cheaper, right? Technically, but doesn't it last like in 20 seconds? You need
You're right.
another
It's-
hit.
it's-
It's like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Right?
You're 100% right. It is like that. It like, you know, for a minute, you're like your heart's racing and your ears are ringing, but then it's like,
And
it's
then you need more, right?
boom, you get shot up so hard and so fast. And then it's like,
It's fucking nuts, right?
I look back, like, because I'm so far removed from those days, and I think about, like, damn, what the hell was I doing? It's just, like, so disgusting, but...
But you know what? It's good that you're open about it, because if somebody watches this and they see Lillo, you know, Calogero, Bronx Tale, you know, they may say, wow, if he could do it, I could do it, you know?
Well, that's the whole point. You know what I mean? And that has happened in a lot of cases. So I'm blessed to be able to have that, you know what I mean? To be able to help others. That's, you know, like, I hate to see, like, sometimes, like, I see, like, people with, like, a huge platform and they're very influential, but then they just want to use it the wrong way. I know certain things sell, but, you know, it comes to a point where you have to have some integrity, you know. Like,
It's not always about selling shit.
no, you're killing people when you're glamorizing drugs and music and stuff like that. The people who are fans of these musicians are going to do what they say in their music just because they think that's what it is.
And again, I think you're doing a great thing because, you know, I know a lot of people that went to rehabs and they don't listen. Some fucking counselor goes in there, and I'm sure there's plenty of good counselors, but they have no experience. They have no idea. And then they're trying to talk to an addict like book text. And I don't know any addict that's going to listen to fucking some book text. But if somebody has already experienced it and been through it and beat it, you got a shot to listen to you. And then if somebody like you, who's movie star guy, whatever, they're really going to have a good shot that they'll listen to you and that, you know, they can leave there and take something with them versus just going there through the motions for the 30 days, making their family happy or whatever. Counselor doesn't know shit. They're just saying whatever the fucking book says. And then they go home and the same thing repeats itself.
Yeah, no, it's...
But I don't think a lot of people in your position would be as open about it because of your career. And I'm saying that I respect that about you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we can't change what's happened in the past. Like I was a drug addict. You know, I've done a lot of things that I'm ashamed of and embarrassed of, but I can't change what's happened. But now we got to make the best of everything that I do have. Let's dissect and see the good things and the bad things, you know, trim the fat. Now take all the good from that and use it the right way.
And now look, you went through all that, the jail, accused of shit you didn't do, massive addiction to fucking coke and heroin, and God knows what else, right?
Yeah.
And now you got 8 movies, you know, in the air. You know, I mean, you made it. You beat it.
Yeah, no, things are good. But
And you're helping other people too.
See, for me, I mean, you know, the movie stuff, it's definitely great because that's what I love to do. But that's not my definition of, I mean, movies are great, but not necessarily my definition of making it. For me, more to where I can actually say to myself, like, you know, you overcame it. You did good and you really, you know, is when some kid's mom or dad can message me and say, thank you so much, Lillo, for taking the time to talk to my kid now. He's or she's 4 months sober. That's the kind of stuff that, like, wow, like, you know, because think about it. I look at my little nieces. They're little. My nephew, I've seen them since they were babies. And then, like, you know, we know, and then they grow up and they turn into that. You can't just write them off. These are people. You know, and I just know what my parents went through and how sad. My parents were immigrants, you know, from my father's Sicilian, my mother's Calabrese. So they come here. You smoke weed, you know, they make like you get 3 needles in your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll smoke a dope. Oh, it's weed. You guys smoke cigarettes and make wine in the house. Wine kills people. You worried about me liking to smoke a little vape? You know what I mean? So, but it's not that my parents never disowned me. They always supported me no matter what. But they didn't know how to give the right support due to a lack of experience. They don't know what drugs are. They grew up in Sicily. They were very simple. Very, very simple, life. Then they came in to make a better life, work. And that's what my father did. So the sadness and, like like my father died,
Sorry, man.
he had a heart transplant. And, I know I stressed my father out. I was Lillo Jr. I'm Lillo Jr. My father was, she's great. I don't know if you.
Well, believe me, I stressed my mom the fuck out to death.
There's my dad right there. It's my phone. It's me. That's the day I became a U.S. citizen. The extended picture, you see the little U.S.
If you have that, you can airdrop that. We can pull it up.
I don't know if I have, but see that? That's my dad. I love it.
I'll put it up. It's your dad. Fuck. Yeah. That's Pops, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that picture's like 1981.
Full head of fucking hair then.
Yeah.
What a weird question. I mean,
look, he had a full head of hair. I was already losing it. I was already receding. I was 4 years old.
You were receding at 4.
I was already a member of the hair club. Hair club for men.
Matt Cox got that done. Last 20 fucking years.
I know Albanian kids that went to Turkey. I'll show you. Bro, you got to see the work they got done. Unbelievable.
Would you ever consider that?
Absolutely.
What were we going to ask him, Rob?
How or why? I wonder this. Like, why did you start to do drugs or really get heavy into it? Was there something in your life that happened? You were just at a point in your life, or it was just for fun, or what? Like, how did you get into it?
There's so many different explanations, so many different reasons. Well, first of all, because that was what was age appropriate to start discovering these new things. You know what I mean? High school, late high school, then college starts. So this is when this kind of stuff is taking place. But for me, it was like the perfect storm because this is the age when it's age appropriate. Then you throw Bronx Tale into the mix. Then you throw in my nutty personality and my addictive personality and just the way I am, very extreme with everything. That's the perfect storm.
Yeah,
you
you had the cocktail.
So it's like.
So basically it was like we were saying last time, like you got into the movie out of nowhere, Bronx Tale with De Niro, then one after another. So everything happened so quick. You start playing around. You have an addictive personality, so on and so forth, and then it just exploded.
Yeah, because
no
one's really talked to me about it. Like I said, my parents, they were old school. They didn't know anything about this.
I guess another way to ask it would be, what made you start to get into the drugs? What was it that, like, you were stressed out or just at a party?
No.
Or
curiosity.
Just curiosity.
Yeah, I was with the kid who shot Sonny. He gave me, my boy Phil Garbarino, he gave me a ride home. He had some weed in the car. I was like, what is that? And then he told me, we smoked. I didn't really get high the first time. We smoked again, and I was real high. I was chewing a piece of gum, and then it just disappeared. It just dissolved. I'm like, where is it?
I think the first time I smoked weed, I don't think I got high either.
Yeah.
I think maybe I wasn't inhaling or fucking something.
No, I inhaled. He was like high, and I was like, damn, I wish I felt. He like,
right then and there, you're fucked, all right?
No, but I wasn't.
I mean, you didn't know, but when you're thinking in your head, I wish I was as high as him. Yeah.
The next day.
What happened then?
We smoked on the set because I thought
Bronx Tale?
Yeah, I thought I was high the night before when we did it, so I was like, I could handle it. So I took a couple of hits off a blunt. I was
What scene was it?
Is it better to be loved or feared? If you see it, you could see my eyes are a little.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't say like.
Shit, that's crazy. Huh?
It got caught on film, but like, when I say that, I don't ever want to disrespect De Niro, Robert De Niro, Chaz Palminteri, because it's like this jerk off, we give him this opportunity, and then he comes on set high. It's like people will kill for this opportunity.
But we're talking about it in a positive way.
Right.
That, this is what you did, but you've overcome it.
Right. Yeah. But you know what too? Before Bronx Tale came out, it was summer '93. It got released September 30th, 1993. Summer of '93, the film was already shot. So I was with all my cousins, guy and girl cousins. We were at my aunt's house, and usually we hang out in the street. Summer, so we said, you know what? Let's go to the movies. The movie theater was not far, so there was like 10, 15 of us. We all walked to the movie. We didn't know what was going to be on. We just went there. So the movie The Firm with Tom Cruise. Oh, shit. That was the movie. It was playing in like 5 minutes. He was like, all right, let's go see this then. Right? So we're sitting there, all right, and then lights go down, the coming attractions come. You got 1, 2, and then I see one. It says Savoy Pictures, and I knew that's the company that produced The Bronx Tale. So I was like, oh, wow, Savoy Pictures. And then when you see the logo, which was a bison, a buffalo, Savoy Pictures, you see the logo, and then you hear all these years, what have I been telling you? And then it cuts to me. Yeah, I know. Stay in school, get 2 educations. I know. On the big screen. You know what I mean? That was a high better than anything I've ever experienced in my life. So that kind of stuff is very seductive. That would be to me or to anybody else.
Anybody.
So it's like that feeling, the rush of dopamine and endorphins, my heart, everything that happened all at once. My cousins, everybody that wants to stay real, like, oh my God. Like, because now it's real. We know you did the movie, but now it's real. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're there, bro. You're there. You know? So.
I forget, did it initially kill in the box office?
Oh, no, it didn't.
After is when it killed.
It became more successful over time. Like, the movie's huge nowadays.
Fucking huge.
Because of interracial.
You got the play and everything.
Well, the musical, the play. You got interracial dating is so much more prevalent now than it was definitely in the 60s when the movie took place, but even in the early 90s. It wasn't prevalent back then. But now, as that's becoming more common, the movie becomes more successful. And it's a movie that transcends time. Even though we're wearing 60s fashion and this and that, the life lessons and everything that's said in the movie are applicable to
right now.
Right now.
Rob, you ever think about that? That is true. Because back then, that was 90s, he's dating a black girl, hardcore Italian father, your other father, Chaz, you know, and he's the one who's saying, go date her. De Niro's the hardcore Italian, don't know, blah, blah, blah. Stay within your kind.
Yeah. When the big head tells the little head what to do, the little head should listen.
Right. And, and nowadays, that's everything, right? That's what half the fucking argument is half the time.
You're absolutely
that
right.
Shit.
You're absolutely right.
And when my kids, I got a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old now. That's one of their favorite movies is The Bronx Tale. And I'm like, it's just weird because, I grew up watching it. Now they watch it. It's like Michael Jordan. They know who Michael Jordan is. It's transcended time. Michael Jordan, for who knows, that movie will continue for years. They'll show their kids that movie. So
yeah, I was. I could not have been in a better movie. It appeals to so many different people for so many different reasons. You got the interracial thing. You got the father-son story. You got the gangster backdrop. There's 90 reasons why the movie,
and there's a lot of lessons in it too.
Yeah, Goodfellas is by far a better movie than A Bronx Tale.
I don't think so.
I
think Donnie Brasco's number one. Bronx Tale. I couldn't get over Lefty.
Lefty
Pacino played that so good.
He did,
and Depp played Donnie so good.
See, I love Johnny Depp. I love him. I don't know if it was his performance. I don't know. I don't think they did enough to make him look like. I knew Joe Pistone. We did a show for CBS called Falcone. He was Vito, the bartender. He was a technical consultant. And, I got to say, knowing the guy, I'm not going to talk bad about it. He's not a rat. He was a cop. He never was a gangster. He was a cop from the beginning, so I don't consider him a rat. And he's got a lot of courage for what he did. I know he put a lot of guys away and whatever, and from knowing Joe, Johnny, did you see Black Mass when he played? That was did you see the way they made him look?
Yes.
They actually made an effort to make him look. He was awesome in that. But then you got Joe Pistone. Joe Pistone was balding, big forearms, big hulky guy. And here's the thing. Joe Pistone and Lefty, they were about the same age. I don't understand why they made that movie where Lefty and then he's the protege, the mentor and the protege. I don't like that. Johnny Depp did not look like a guy that they would have believed as a gangster. He was Johnny Depp with a mustache and a leather jacket with his hair slicked back. He didn't sell that role to me. He didn't look it physically. You know what they should have did, my opinion? I didn't like how they brought De Niro and Pacino. They brought them together in the movie Heat. That movie was awesome. But they got one scene. It's like I would have liked to see more with them. The Godfather, yes, they're in the same movie, but he's from one era and he's from another era. And then you get The Irishman. The Irishman was long. It was good, but
slow.
It was hard to follow because there was so many moving pieces and it was a lot to digest, 3.5 hours. But then, and you know what it is? I just think right now, there's some of the movie I love though, The Irishman, when De Niro and Pesci are in jail at the end and Pesci's got the tremors. Remember?
Yeah, there was good parts to it.
There was some really good stuff, but I personally, I would have made De Niro Donnie Brasco. He would have been the cop. And Lefty would have been Don. Pacino would have been Lefty.
I don't know if De Niro could have played not the look,
What?
but the role as well as Johnny Depp. Yeah, you know better than me.
I think it would have been because listen, I love Johnny Depp, and I think he's one of the most courageous actors ever.
Pacino and De Niro, like
he takes roles, Johnny Depp, that no one else would take on, and he's been awesome at all, like Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, Jack Sparrow, he's got that niche that nobody's better, and I respect him. So not by no means am I saying anything
and he
bad.
goes and does his thing when he's done with his band.
Yeah, no, I love Johnny
parties like
Depp.
a rock
I don't
star,
want anyone.
I don't know how he snaps out of it.
I don't want anyone to mistake. I'm not speaking bad about him. I have the utmost respect. I wish I could achieve even a quarter of what he did. So I'm not talking bad, but just sometimes you watch movies and it's not the actor's bad. He just wasn't right for the role. That could have been the Pacino De Niro thing, because De Niro, he could play a cop. He could play a tough New York cop, easy, and he could play a gangster. That's what he had to sell. He would have been good because it would have been ambiguous. He could have been understood as a cop or a gangster, but he would have had that, and Bobby would have played that perfectly.
And in the end of Donnie Brasco, you see,
I got cancer.
You actually see Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
When they get on the boat.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
The guy in Miami.
I got a mistress with a mistress.
Yeah, it's so good. It is funny.
Some of the dialogue was.
You believe I got cancer of the prick? Yeah, I'm in the medical
books. I got to have a spritzer just to calm down. I see my ex-wife
in the elevator.
Hey, Johnny. Wait, what is it? Hey, Donnie, you believe it? My own son's a fucking junkie. He goes, why don't you smack him? I bruise my hands. When we say, why don't you smack him in the mouth?
Yeah.
Bruise my hands.
I got black and blue marks all over my hands. What's he say, right?
Donnie Brasco. I liked it. I think some of the dialogue, I loved the fact that they didn't really glamorize that life. See them busting open parking meters.
Yeah.
The desperation to kick up their end every month. It's a job. It's a job. And I think that kind of showed it.
Yeah.
Because it's not glamorous.
And so did the Bronx Tale.
And you don't get fired, you get killed.
Yeah, that's why I brought both of them up, because both the Bronx Tale and Donnie Brasco, it wasn't glamorized, especially Bronx Tale. Bronx Tale was more of a story,
Well, Bronx Tale was like a father-son coming-of-age story that happened to take place in the gangster element. It could have been anywhere else, but it worked beautifully.
I still can't believe the way. Remember we pulled up the way the little kid, the little Calogero looks now.
Yeah,
I mean, good for him. I mean, look, he played a great role. He killed it. But I would have never thought that was him.
Yeah.
But good for him,
Yeah, no, he's done. He was in Veronica Mars. He did some other stuff too. He's very good. He's very smart. Very smart. His name is Francis Capra. Very, very intelligent. Like, if that kid didn't become an actor, he could have became like some really savvy tech guy. Like, he knew about all that stuff, tech stuff, when he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very bright. At 9 years old, he used to speak like he was 15 years old.
Good for him.
Yeah, he was a very bright kid, and I wish him all the best. I mean, we kind of made film history together.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So, it's a legacy almost.
Yeah.
Were there any scenes in that movie, Bronx Tale, go back to, that you just either it was you guys couldn't get it, you kept laughing, there's like those outtakes. Was there any specific point like, man, we can't fucking get this, or everybody's laughing at one point, or what?
I'll tell you, yeah, there was one scene when Sonny was in the casket, in the coffin, because you got to understand, we shot that scene in like 2-3 days. His whole time he's in the casket, so it's like
he's got to go in the fucking casket.
Yeah, but so it's like hard not to not fall asleep, because you're just in there, and it's not like you can make noise when the camera's rolling. He was in there for so long, so he started.
Oh, I actually did he really?
Yeah, and De Niro's still trying to. Sonny, I never hated you. It's just I never forgave you for making him grow up so fast. May God have mercy on your soul. And as he's doing this, and De Niro's like a really focused, top notch,
Did they go cut?
And even him, and he's like so focused, and like just to see what I saw with him, like the level of professionalism and the level of the craft. You know what I mean? The actor that he was, and just to be able to say, like, I was right there, seeing him act before the editing and the things that I've learned. And it's like, I mean, you can't even put a price on it. You can't even explain it in words. It was like, I mean, you work with, like, I always loved De Niro, and then to be there with him, watching him, and then him giving you direction. It's
Good
like,
mentor. Good for your first mentor, right,
yeah, but
Lillo?
you see that's like one of the biggest problems. Like a lot of times people say like where did you go wrong? It's like, well, listen, I did drugs and I made a lot of bad decisions, but it's like when you're given an opportunity like that at such a young age, it's like you kind of peak early. How much further up can you go from that role as an actor at that age?
None.
You're in a lead role in a film that one of the best actors of all time is making his directorial debut, and he chose you personally to carry this film.
And he was in his prime at that time.
Yeah, so it's like
Mind blowing.
you can't. It's like anything after that, you're going down. You're not going up. You know, you know what I mean? It's like so hard to like digest.
So it's like,
Because usually it's like this. You do this, and then you get to the next one, and then you get to the next one. You work your way to the top. This was like, I was at the top, so the only way I could go now is down.
Yeah.
so it's like getting that girl, you know, dropping the panties. She's the best, and now every girl after you're comparing to her.
Right, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. So it's like, I'm not, making any excuses, and I'm, like, I just the lack of experience was a big reason why things went so wrong for me when I was was younger. There's just so many different reasons, but I'm here now.
You got through it. You got a film, and back to that. De Niro did a great job of being able to switch roles. I didn't think he'd be able to do it, but he went from a lot of the gangster shit for a while, and then he went to like romantic movies.
Meet the Parents. Well, that was after, but still, those.
But still, at some point, he made a hell of a transition. But what was the movie called that he was in? He was with the girl. He was constantly going in and out of the office. It wasn't too long ago. I mean, him as a person is a different story, but
the girl.
It was like it was a weird role for him, but he played it.
He played her in like her intern. Or
something? Her intern. It was called The Intern.
Yeah.
Boy, I mean, as a person, I don't know, but as an actor, fucking beast, man. He killed it in that movie. So you take The Godfather, De Niro, The Bronx Tale, De Niro, all those ones, and then he goes to that, and I was like, no way, this is going to be good because I think one actor that, and I love him, and I think he's a killer that kind of went a little bit too far was Eddie Murphy. I think when he started doing that, what was those movies called where he was playing like 3 different parts in one movie?
Nutty Professor or Coming to America.
Yeah, but I think Nutty Professor, it just wasn't, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. For me personally. I don't know how it did with the numbers, but.
You want to hear something interesting? Initially, the Bregmans, Martin Bregman, who produced Scarface, Sea of Love, they did all, like, I know some Michael, really good. Mr. Bregman, he passed away. He's a great guy. But Michael Bregman, I know I'm still friendly with him. They optioned the script, The Bronx Tale. Pacino was going to play Sonny. And De Niro was going to play Lorenzo, the bus driver.
Oh, shit.
That's what they were going to do. I think personally, the movie would have made, over $100 million in the box office because everyone would have wanted to see that, and it's a gangster movie. But I don't know. I just don't know. As great as Pacino is, I don't know if he would have made that much of an impression because Chaz, nobody knew who he was. And he wasn't your typical looking gangster. Usually they're smaller, bigger. He was tall, thin. You know what I mean? He wasn't your typical looking guy. So now you got this guy from nowhere, comes out of nowhere, and he takes everyone by storm in this role. And he was great. And because, like, a lot of times I watch, like if I watch a movie and there's too many big names in it, it takes it away from me. Because it's like, I don't believe you are these people. This is a movie. When you got one guy just because you need the name to sell overseas and stuff like that, but now you start inserting actors that we really don't know but are very capable, that's a movie to me because now I could follow the story. It's not me watching Brad, whoever, concentrating on their performance. Is this guy pulling off? Oh, wow, that was cool. I like that reaction. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what's going on in the film? I don't even know because I'm worried.
I agree with you. You know what would happen? Everybody would have focused on Pacino and De Niro.
Right.
And not the rest of it and not caught the whole fucking story and everything. So, in my opinion, they made it perfect.
Because De Niro was there. He was there, but
he wasn't pushing.
Right.
Like he didn't overstep his role.
He was perfect.
Yeah.
That was one of his best roles. He don't get credit, but he was great as the regular guy, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
He was perfect.
I think he was better in that than fucking Godfather. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I think that's the best movie he ever did, and that's not because I'm sitting across from you or because we're good friends. But
you know, he actually learned how to drive a bus. He did all that. You know, he used to drive the bus around. He's as dedicated as they get, man. And I think he was tremendous in that. So was Chaz. Chaz was he was awesome. Like when he shot that dude in the street, I still talk to that guy. His name's Joe Black. He still calls me up. Happy Easter. He's such a good guy. Hey, Lil, how you doing? But yeah, that scene, man, like just the way Chaz, where he held the gun, he looked at the kid, and like he held his look just enough, and he took it away perfect. If it was 1 second more, I'd analyze, and just the way De Niro shot it with the back and forth, the slow motion, he looks now back to it was just cut beautifully. Editing is
there's
important.
two monster actors I don't think get enough credit. One is Chaz, and who was the other one? He played in the first Gotti.
Montesante.
Montesante.
Yeah.
I think he should be. I think that Gotti movie was the best one they ever made.
Oh, yeah.
By a gazillion that got no credit.
I think they're making another one with him.
With him?
And I think it's going to be later on, obviously, prison and that, you know.
I had a book writer in that worked with him. What's his name? I always forget his name because his first name's crazy. The guy who played the first Gotti movie.
Oh, Armand
Assante. He does a lot of shit overseas. So he's not doing a lot here in the U.S., but he does big, heavy shit overseas because the guy that knows him that wrote a documentary on him or something said he makes a fucking killing overseas.
Yeah, no.
You got
you got actors like David Hasselhoff. Remember him from Knight Rider and stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
fuck yeah, Kit.
Yeah, you know. So, yeah, but that guy, he's huge. Like in Japan and these foreign countries, he's like a mega star. Money's money. You know, money's money. You know?
How about that transition from Michael Knight Kit to Baywatch?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about getting stuck in these roles, what are you doing to get out of that kind of gangster role so that you're more looked at as a very diverse actor? Well, now you got all these movies coming out that we're going to get to that are way different than fucking what you've done.
Well, you know what it is? I just don't get tempted. You know, like sometimes it takes a little discipline. You can't get tempted by, you know, like you look at some of these roles and, you know, even though it's a good role and another actor playing it may be great and do good for them, things for them. But for me, like playing an Italian from New York, you know, I mean, I've done it so, not to say I don't ever want to do it again because I do. I'm familiar with it and I like playing those roles. But it's just like so hard to like get out of that. And the way people perceive you as an actor in those roles, like, yeah, you get the paycheck, you get the exposure, and, you know, hey, I saw you in that movie. But to me, it's like, I don't know how important that is anymore. I've had the exposure and people see me in movies and people see me when you know, hey, I saw you in that movie. But I don't know how much it would mean. Like, yeah, I just saw you in a movie where you played the same thing and you've been doing for 30 years. I don't feel like I should even take credit for that. It's like, am I an actor or am I a character actor? I'm not really an actor. I'm a character actor because I can only specifically play these characters. I don't want to be that.
So a character actor is one-dimensional, basically.
Right.
And then an actor can adjust to whatever the movie may be. So for you to stay diverse, you have to have the balls, basically, to turn down the money and say, nah, I don't want to do another gangster movie and wait for Sleepyhead or whatever the other 8 that you got coming out that aren't like that to take that. And then you were saying last night that now, because everything's fucking different, sometimes independent is the way to go.
Well, usually like a studio film, you know, like a big studio film, if they were to cast me, it would be as an Italian. You know what I mean? You know, because they will think of me as like, this guy's a character actor. So we have a role for this guy as an Italian kid from New York. He plays the driver of one of the leads and he's perfect for it. So let's insert him in that role. Okay, that's great. That's great for the studio because now they got a capable actor who's going to be very believable in this role. Because you got to understand, these smaller roles are not their big concern. Their big concern are the guys they're paying $20 million to. Or 15 million. These are the guys I need to perform the way I need them to perform so I could make a great film and that could sell everywhere in the world. These other little roles, they're just little pieces to move this whole big vehicle. You're a little piece of this thing, because that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? And that's nothing wrong with it. It's a business. We're in the film business. We're in the filmmaking business. We make films, and this is the formula. We got the 2 big stars that we need to sell overseas. We got these actors that people have known them to play, so we're safe here.
Yeah, we're throwing these names to add to the lineup.
Yeah, and because we're safe.
Yeah.
Let's be safe. Carry this guy. We know he can play this. But it's like, okay, you're paying me, and when the movie comes out, it's a big, whatever huge studio it is. Like, here I am. Hey, look, Lillo. Hey, we saw the movie in the theater, and then you were great as Bruno. I love when
Bruno, Sal, Lawrence, Luigi.
Yeah,
right?
you were great as Antonio, especially when you told that guy, "I want my money," and you punched him in the face
for the 7th movie in a row. Right?
Yeah, I noticed in your last one you hit him with the left hand, but now it's the right. I could see you switching. Like, come on, bro. It's not fun to me anymore.
So almost maybe to break out of that, you have to do the independent to show that you can do it.
Even if sometimes you're not going to make a lot of money, but you know what? You grow as an actor that way. When you're not comfortable every day playing a role because you're just very self-conscious and thinking, am I doing this good? This is how you grow. Being self-conscious at times is how you get to the next level. You overcome that self-conscious as an actor or as whatever else you do. Challenge yourself. You know what I mean? I want to be an actor. I want to be like somebody
where you can play a romantic role, you could play a gangster role, you could play a cowboy if you need to.
Yeah, like C, the character C. He was a nice guy. I like to go back to doing that. You know what I need, man? You know what I need? I would love a role like Who's the Boss? Like Tony.
Oh, yeah.
That would be so, because, because this would humanize me. Like, people think like, oh, this guy's some bad guy. But then I'm like,
yeah, you got to get into like a comedy.
Yeah. People like, I'm a pretty funny guy once in a while.
No, you are. You're fucking wired, bro. Naturally wired.
So like, I need to show people that side of me.
Mm-hmm.
And in a big studio film, and it's not their fault, but they got hundreds of millions of dollars of riding on this. I got to make my money back.
And they're going to go, like you said, with the security, with what they know.
Right. So this is the formula. The formula is 2 big names at the top, and then character actors to fill these, because we don't have to worry. We don't want to have to worry about this. We want to worry about this. We want to make sure this little love chemistry thing, the dynamic here has to work. Because if this doesn't work, none of this works. But this don't work, this could still work. That's the way it is.
So your idea is hopefully that one of these independents pop.
Yeah.
They hit. And now the big studios see, oh, whoa. Lillo can do this.
Look what that guy was able to do.
Right.
Not only as an actor, something that we never thought he was able to do, but he did, and he did it really well. But not only that, the thing that means more than anything is the bottom line, money. Okay, this guy made this movie for $100 million. It was so good, and the movie ended up making $13 million. Do you know what a hit that is? From 100,000, and you get just say 13. I'm not going to say some astronomical.
We looked up The Irishman the other day, and it was negative.
Yeah,
it didn't even make what they spent, or what, a break even. It was real close.
Yeah, but they didn't care about that. They didn't care about making money on that. I'm gonna show you some. They did not care about making money on that.
Yeah, but they spent all that fucking money on that. What's that shit called when they make
CGI?
CGI.
Computer generated imagery.
How crazy is that? Have you dealt with that yet?
No. No. But they weren't looking. I got this thing. They weren't looking to make money on that. Trust me.
You know who makes a hell of a transition that we were talking about was Johnny Depp. He plays like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And then completely out of his mind.
Plays some strange roles. Though.
Then he gets off Pirates of the Caribbean. Then he goes on tour with his band, rocked every night. I mean, fucking hammered. Then he gets a role somehow. I have no idea. Cleans up and plays the role like better than anybody possible.
I'm always amazed. Like these actors. I mean, you probably speak for it better, but like they get so involved into a role. Like remember Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
After Batman, he killed himself.
What do you think about that, Lillo?
Like, what happened?
Fuck the picture.
I think. I think that he immersed himself in that character. You think
it just drove him.
And I just think that he couldn't.
I think it like brainwashed him almost.
It's so weird though, right? Like he was just so involved in the character that it caused him to like go mental. I guess mental. I don't know. I mean,
what year did The Irishman came out? The Irishman came out
2 years ago. Rob, can you look up? What are you trying to look for?
No, I had this thing that talks about The Irishman and how they didn't care about making money. It wasn't about the money.
2019.
Came out 2019.
Where the hell is it? But it was more about the subscriptions because that really took Netflix. That took them to another level, believe it or not.
Pull up how much did the Irishman make? He's like you, Rob. He will not get off that phone until he finds it. So he'll spend an hour looking for that motherfucker. I think it broke even. Ugh. 8 million. Now how much did they spend? But how much
they spent about 160, 159.
Well, let's see. Goodfellas made 47.
159.
Casino made
it went from 100 to 159. Told you.
Wow. And would they make 8 million? Wow, that's a fucking one. You don't think they care about $151 million loss?
That's a lot.
So Lillo, well, now when you did, you don't have to tell me the numbers, but when you did Bronx Tale, you had lawyers and everything, or you kind of were just like, wow, and took the deal? Like, was it a percentage deal? Was it something up front? Was there any like, residuals?
Residuals you get just as a member of the Screen Actors Guild, but yeah, but I made scale, which was minimum wage at the time. I think per week it was like 1,620. So like in my pocket, I was putting like 9 something in my pocket. But you would think, wow, a big movie like that. But
that was your own. It wasn't really about the money. It was getting out
not
there.
Even close to. Yeah. I would have paid him that much. I would have had my father pay him.
Fucking right.
So I could be in that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's still. I still work from it. It's like I still work from it.
Now, how are the contracts going nowadays with the studios? Everything's different. You got the streaming, you got Netflix, you got YouTube, you got all that. So when you go do a big studio film that's like 100 million to make, 80 million to make, how are they paying now? Because I know a lot of guys that did movies with Netflix got fucked 7 Ways to Sunday. There was not Paramount. There was another one.
I think that'll change now, though. You see how like NBC came out with that streaming network, Peacock, and all these. I think because they're becoming so much more prevalent, I think they will start to pay more. And I think they're such a great, great thing for actors. Because back in the day, you didn't have that. So the film either goes in the theater or it gets shelved. You never see it. But nowadays, if it doesn't go to the theater, you have 97 different streaming platforms where the film will come out and it will be seen. Because it's like people work hard on the film. It's not only the actors. You got the crew. They work harder than the actors. The actors get makeup put on their face and get water brought to them. These, people actually work. And then it's like for the, to work on something a month and a half, 2 months, and then have it not come out. It's like, it's discouraging. But, it's like, what do I do this for,
Yeah, but Lillo, I mean, if you're not Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, AAA heavy hitter, what are these big studios paying the mid-levels? Is it dog shit, same as it was before?
No.
Based on, or are they doing scale?
No. The big studios will pay.
They're still paying the same?
Yeah. No, they'll pay. Say even if they get an actor who's known, like in a big film like that, they'll throw him $20,000 for the day. Great hotel. No, they
so that hasn't really changed.
No, they spend. I mean, you spend money to make money, especially if you got somebody that you respect and you want them in your film. Throw them a few. You know what I mean? I think, like in a situation like that, you want to pay someone what they deserve. Because you know what? When they're working for you, they're going to go above and beyond. And they're going to say, this guy did the right thing and he gave me what I was worth, so now I'm going to show him what I'm worth. And
what do you hate about doing independent films, and what do you hate about doing studio films? And then same vice versa. What do you like about the studio films? I mean, obviously
question.
the fucking marketing, but
it's a very good question.
Other than the marketing.
Yeah.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Forget about it. And then same with the independent. What do you like and dislike, and what do you like and dislike with the studio films?
Okay. When you're working on a studio film, first of all, you got all the perks. There's better food and craft service and stuff like that.
I mean, besides the obvious.
But you know what it is? When you're working on a bigger budget film, you have more time to do one scene. So sometimes that could be a blessing and a curse. But I think you can really, really see the scene, what it's for, and really play it. Like when you're in a big budget film, because you have all day to do one scene. But then you have an independent film. You run out of money, there's no more shooting days. So you get a line producer to put together a line schedule. It's going to say, okay, this day we're going to do this. So this location is going to require this fee for that permit. This is going to be that for that. So now the budget is allocated based on, you know what I mean? So it's like you only have after, okay, we got the budget. We know the locations. We get the line producer. Now we allocate it. So, okay, based on the allocation of this budget with what we have in front of us, it gives us 13 shooting days. Okay, so now 13 shooting days, you have to do 110 pages. And they say a page is a minute. You know what I mean? A page a minute. So, you know, like where in a big budget film, that 110 pages, you'll be shooting over 3 months. But now with the independent, you're doing it in 13 days. So, you know.
So what's the curse in the length? Because you said it's a blessing and a curse. So I get the blessing. You get
the
more time
blessing
to
is
get
you
it
get the
down.
more time to do it. But I think sometimes
It takes the energy away, maybe.
it takes the energy away and it just makes you less hungry. Because you're just like pampered, sitting around and doing the same thing again. But the other way, it's like, all right, cut, boom, let's go. Next location.
We only got so much,
Yeah, you shot the scene. As soon as it's done, literally, we're in our car to go down the street where the next location is.
Yeah, you probably got flags. Motherfucker, get the car here
And
now.
it's not like, you know, these big budget films where you got wardrobe and they bring you, sometimes you bring your own clothes. It's in the car. So it's like, Lillo, you got to change for, before,
Jump in the back car.
Yeah,
Jump in the back of the car.
change in the back seat for scene 23. And scene 23, your fingers weren't bandaged. So take your bandage off. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you get Band-Aids at CVS on the way?
yeah, but I'm saying like that kind of stuff, it's like sometimes you can't really focus and do it the right way. But then again, it makes you better because you have that time constraint and you're boom, boom, boom.
And it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think the independent films keep you hungrier.
Yeah.
You know-
So besides the money, of course, and the way you're treated, you like doing the independent films a little bit better?
Yes, just because, you know, just because I'm able to be a little more creative. Where with the big studio films, it's a little more cut and dry as to what I'm going to be hired as. I'm going to be hired as, you know, an Italian from New York or maybe Philly. You know, let's you know what I mean?
So then like the negative of the studio films is like, here's the script. This is what it is, cut and dry. Whereas independent, you can ad-lib more. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, not only that, but where in an independent film, whoever's doing the film would be much more likely to take a chance on someone like myself, who's not an A-list star, and someone who we've never seen play this. It's risky because I got my investors, even if the film's $250,000, but still $250,000, that's not my money. That's this guy's money that I asked him to invest in me. So this is a big risk. I'm hiring this kid, casting him to play a Mexican or whatever it is. And I've never, you know, he did it in front of me, but is he going to be able to do it?
With 9 cameras around them.
Yeah,
and,
consistently. You know, so that's, you know, that's what I like. But then again, you know, but then when you work on the big studio films, then you work with the big names and guys that are legends. You show up on the set, there's Denzel Washington. It's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And a great human being. You know, I knew him from Crimson Tide. So
Did you ever run into Morgan Freeman?
a situation like that, you're not going to run into
No.
in an independent film.
Morgan Freeman, you ever run into him?
Oh, but he's
he's
awesome.
a beast.
Awesome.
Right?
Oh, I mean,
Voice of God.
Yeah.
But
He's got that.
yeah, but just think about how versatile he is.
Whew. Everything. He played the fucking, he killed in that one. I couldn't believe, but everything he plays in is good.
What
The
was
one with the
Lean
the
on
parts.
Me. Remember Lean on Me?
Lean on Me.
When he played Joe Clark, the prince. But what about Driving Miss Daisy?
Yeah, that's good.
But then he
Those
goes,
are two total opposites.
but he goes to the one, where was the one where they were playing and it was like this whole thing and they were doing magic and shit. The movie they were doing magic. Put in Morgan Freeman movies because now it's going to drive me nuts. It was like a magic. They would do like magic tricks and they'd be on the roof and trying to save him. It was all fucking
Bruce
weird.
Almighty?
No, it was something else. I forget what the fuck it was called.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's awesome. But you know,
I don't
that's
think he has a bad movie.
no, that's
So that would be the benefit to the
You see me?
Now You See Me, yeah, because it's like these guys they're doing like magic tricks and they're making them disappear and shit. You would think it would, like, for me, I'm not into that kind of thing, But when I saw Morgan Freeman, I said, this has to be good. And
Yeah.
motherfucker, and I would never, just me personally, not hitting the film or movies like that, just me personally, I'm not into like the whole magic thing. And,
Yeah.
you know, that crazy shit. But I saw him and I watched it and I was like, shit. And then they made a part 2 and crushed.
So let me ask you a question. What actor out there right now combined, his films have made more than any actor out there?
You guess first.
Gotta get 2 guesses.
All right, 2 guesses. You get 2 guesses.
Right now, you're saying?
Yeah, just as an actor who's made, his films have made more money than combined than any other actor.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man. I know The Rock's the highest paid actor right
Yeah,
Is he really the highest paid actor right now?
well, he hasn't been around long
now.
enough
Not enough to do it.
to where he would surpass the person I'm talking about. You know who it is?
Hold on, let's guess. Go. I say, while he's thinking, I get 2 guesses. Okay, I'm going to say DiCaprio. No?
Nope.
Depp. No.
I'm gonna say Tom Cruise.
That's a good guess because Cruise has been around for so many years. You know who it is?
Wait, let me think. Give me 5 seconds. Who?
He's got a middle name, so the initials are SJ.
Fuck it. Tell me, fuck it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Fuck. Yep, that makes sense.
That guy's movies have grossed like,
I believe that.
what did you think of the did we speak about the Joker last time? That movie made over $1 billion.
I love that movie.
That made over $1 billion?
Made over $1 billion. Could you get the box office on? Watch this.
What'd they spend to make it? Not $1 billion, I know that.
Barely $100 million, bro. Joaquin Phoenix, he wasn't like a big A-list star. He's an awesome actor. He's one of the best actors.
$1 billion
Yeah, bro, look at that.
fucking dollars.
That's a great movie.
God damn.
I want to see the new Batman. I've heard it's.
Put in how much did they spend to make that movie? What do you think, Lee?
I say 60, 70 mil.
That would be insane. A fucking $900 million turnover. 9.9 mil.
What?
9.9 mil, and they made a fucking billion. Holy shit!
That's a good investment.
You should have gotten that motherfucker, buddy.
Oh, I would have played anything.
Give me the fucking role.
I would have
right?
played the fucking paint on his face.
You could have been.
That's a different role.
You probably get 10 million just
Yeah,
for the
Lilo,
paint.
what's your next role? I'm playing face paint.
Yeah, you probably get 10 million for that.
Imagine that, dude.
God
This is
damn.
the newest Batman just made opening weekend so far. 124 million.
That's impressive.
But
dude.
what are the reviews on it though? Is it getting good reviews?
I've heard good. I mean,
It looked pretty good.
Yeah, put in Batman reviews on that.
I just can't see that guy as Batman. Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah. Or even Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Keaton was good too.
Who was
But
the really good Batman? There was one guy that was really good.
Well, it was either Keaton or Christian Bale. I didn't think Clooney was,
Nah,
and I didn't like Val Kilmer either.
me neither. I think Christian Bale maybe, but Keaton's, he's.
Did you guys see Dope
Where did he
Sick?
get?
Did you
80
see Dope Sick?
No.
It's a miniseries about the Sackler family. That's the family who came out with the
It says,
OxyContin.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it 86, audience 89.
So pretty good.
Yeah, huh?
I never understood the Rotten Tomatoes. So the higher the better, or is it the opposite?
I don't even know. Do you?
I don't know.
Box office said 89%. So
Well, it used to be what Siskel and Ebert. Siskel and Ebert give 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. People watched them. They
were
definitely
the
people
shit.
respected their reviews.
now has the streaming hasn't really killed the movie business, because I know like the Tom Cruise movie, it came out in the theater, but then a week later, which was to me a beast move, they put it on HBO Max. So if you didn't want to go to the theater because of whatever reason, especially where you live, you could get it on HBO Max.
Well, nowadays because of this whole COVID and stuff like that, people are not going out to the theater as fast.
it just didn't happen.
Yeah, like they were. A lot
Now,
of people
can-
are afraid.
Now,
People.
but can the theaters? I understand the film companies can handle it, but can the theaters deal with this? Because they've been getting killed for a year now, at least. I mean, I think AMC, one of them, closed.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think they're going to take a hit. It will definitely affect their bottom line because, like as you said, a lot of these, because you have to do contingency planning. What if the movie theater thing just dies out? Because it's gonna. I don't know if it'll die out, but I think it's going to be a while before people feel comfortable to attend movies in the theater in masses.
But with that being said, I think that the movie theaters are going to die out where there's very few, because while that adjustment takes time to go back to the way it was, that $50,000 rent at minimum for that theater is still getting billed.
Yeah.
The electric's still billed.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, those are big ass movie theaters, and they have to be in good locations, or they're not going to. Nobody's going to go.
No, they won't even know that they're there.
What do you think? What do you think a movie theater costs to rent? Like down in Palm Beach.
Oh fuck.
That's probably fucking
We went
200K a month. I bet.
We went a few months ago and there was no one in the theater. Like it was a Thursday night.
But what do you think the rent is there?
God, I don't.
200.
Could be less than that. I think.
At least 100, right?
100 grand. For the
So I mean,
they had.
let's say they're down 15 months. That's 1.5 at minimum.
I think they're gonna have to eventually go to like some type of virtual or like what are they called, the IMAX theaters? People like that because you're like
IMAX.
in the
Yeah.
New technology. Maybe it's like a virtual movie. You're at the movie theater, but you're virtually in it. Like,
Yeah, that's a good
it
idea.
has to somehow.
You make the audience part of it.
Do you think
Kids will love that?
Do you think they'll eventually go to the glasses, like where maybe you go to the movie theater or even at home and you can like watch the movie in those metaverse bullshit, and then you're kind of like there?
Yeah.
We had somebody in, and he was dead set that in no time, if you want floor seats to the Lakers or you want floor seats to the Giants, you just put them glasses on,
They have it.
pay whatever. They already have that now.
They have it. I mean,
Fuck, now it's already there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That doesn't that fuck you up?
Yeah.
That blows my mind, that metaverse shit and all that NFT thing. And
I just hope the film industry's able to recover. But now, I mean,
I think the filming industry will, because they're loaded. They don't like MGM or, Paramount. They don't just have Paramount movies. They got 17,000 fucking umbrellas, as you know.
Yeah.
Well, now the theaters, that I don't know, but the film people, they'll just go to, HBO, streaming, Apple.
No, but I definitely think they took a hit just during the period of readjustment, to readjust to this. I mean, there's got to be some, little time lapse there where it did affect them. You know what I mean? It was, what was it? Started March 2020. I mean, just a few months ago, right? Theaters started opening up again.
Yeah. If I would have had the money, what I would have done? I would have opened up a bunch of drive-through theaters.
Yeah, they killed it.
Because then you just sit in the car and watch the movie. Yeah. Plus, if you're on a date, you got your odds are way higher, right?
You know what? I mean,
that's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. It's not
not very expensive. The most expensive thing would be the fucking land. It's a big ass screen, and then you just got to make the deals with the production companies.
What?
I'm saying to be able to play the movie on the screen.
Yeah.
That's all you fucking need is a big ass fucking screen.
Oh, it would be with the distribution.
Yeah.
Because you got then you got the distribution. They pick it up, they distribute it, so then you make the deal with them, and then. But that's a really good idea, dude.
Because that doesn't affect anything. Because you're in the car.
You're still getting the same experience.
Yes. Because you listen to it right through the radio. You can still go get the popcorn and whatever, and wear your mask to get the popcorn if that's what they want you to do, and go back to the car, take it the fuck off with you and the kid in the back, or you and your girl, and shit.
And I think the sound, if you got like a good stereo system in your car,
yeah,
I think that surround sound in the car will be even more intimate than because it's right here rather than this. So it's like,
well, and you could shoot Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So, if you have AirPods or whatever, you could play it through the radio and then have the option to shoot it to, Bluetooth headphones. Yeah. But you probably want to play it through the radio because you especially if you're with a girl.
Now, what do you think about so I just went to go see 2 months ago, I think it was, went to go see Scream, right?
The newer one?
Yeah, I used to love the old Nev Campbell Scream. Well, she's still in it. They have the whole cast in it. Dewey, all of them.
Like with the mask Scream? They have another Scream
Yes,
out?
it just came out.
Fuck.
So I was energized. I was energized by it because I used to love Scream, and my kids. That's what they're doing. They're getting at the kids. So I'm talking about the old. You're seeing the characters, and my kids are watching it. They loved it. Do you think they'll ever do something like that? I mean, I know they do with other movies, but could you see them ever coming to you and saying, "We're going to do a Bronx Tale 2, where now you're the dad and you got
that'd be crazy,
a young son living in this age now"? Could you see that?
I'd buy the ticket.
Or do you think it would lose when you do the second one? It could lose that first one was so iconic.
Yeah.
It's very rare that a sequel. The only one that was able to match up to the first was The Godfather, because it's
What about Back to the Future too? That was good.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see Back to the
No,
Future
no.
too?
I didn't see.
Back to
I
the
didn't see
Future?
one. Fuck.
Well, don't watch 3, but 1 and 2.
Yeah, 3 sucks.
Bro, that's killer, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you never saw that. Oh my God, you got to watch that. You would love it.
Yeah. No. I've heard great things, but The Godfather 2 was,
That was better than 1 to me.
Some people say, yeah.
I'm just saying my opinion.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's the only. But if they did, but I don't see if they did want to do the film again, the part 2. I don't know if that's where they would take it. If anything, some people say, oh, what about if they made another Bronx Tale? Now you're the boss. That would never happen. I could never see.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I know what you're saying though. The father in this and how to deal with his kid in today's life.
Some type of gang or something now, like that type of deal.
I mean, I would definitely do it because that's a good role because it'd be a father and I'd be mentoring my son and trying to keep him away. So that's definitely different. So yeah, it would be great. I don't see that happening. One of the most logical things was not because everyone's older; they would have had to do it before. But one of the most logical things would have been to show why Sonny and Joe Pesci killed that guy. What was the beef about that?
The parking spot.
Yeah, because you could make a whole movie on that. Because now
that happened in real life, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they say. Yeah. So, but Pesci, now they're all older. But imagine that Pesci younger, and then Sonny comes back, and then they show Pesci in the street like that. And I loved them the way they had him in A Bronx Tale because he didn't have his hairpiece on. He had that little hair. And watch when he pulls up the funeral home. A lot of people don't know outside. You see the car pull up, and you see him get out, and all these guys greet him. They're kissing him and stuff, bro. Because you could see he's a somebody. Because as soon as the car pulls up, guy opens the door, he comes out. Come on, bro. They shot it beautiful, but they made it real, bro. That was perfect.
What do you know what the real story is? I mean, was it really over a parking spot? Like you went up to him? You went up to him, you said, was it really over a parking spot?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really clear on that. But as far as the story itself, that Chaz is Charles, which is Calogero. His father's Lorenzo. I met him. I know that part of the story is true. Do I know if all of it's true? I don't know. I'm sure they had embellished a little bit because it's like we have something great, but now for the film, film purposes, we got to maybe make this a little, that's what they do.
You know what I thought was interesting that you told me that when you went away, you got a degree. Right. And you wanted to get a degree so that when you got out, and of course people are going to ask you questions, you were able to talk professionally.
Right.
And,
I knew that.
And tell the truth in a professional manner where it's not like, oh, he did this, he did that. Well, you educated yourself at the time that you had.
I knew that it was, just not only in that situation, in life in general. After your health, I think education is the second best, and friendship. Best investment in life. You educate yourself. You know what I mean? But if you're not healthy, you can't do that. So, or even if you do educate and you learn all this, you're going to die before you're going to be able to, do what you learned. But I think...
the 3 things. You told me there was 3 or 4 things. It was like control, pull, what was it?
No, plan. The 4 main functions in management are plan, organize, lead, and control. I knew...
Break those down because you broke them down killer last night when I got you at the airport. No, it's really good.
But when I first got in trouble, just everyone out there was really only hearing one side of the story because then I was incarcerated and not really able to tell my side of the story. And I knew when I did get released that people would be interested in hearing the other side. And I just knew that me educating myself and the time that I had upstate, that it was very important for me to educate myself because I wanted to come across the right way. Because when you come across the right way, people start to give you the benefit of the doubt. They say, well, maybe he didn't. I didn't know he was, was spoke like this. And maybe he was a victim of circumstance. Maybe he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. When they see that. But then if you come across another guy, well, you don't shit like, I didn't.
You're dead.
They're going to say, this guy did exactly what they say. And he did.
Yeah, on the 19th day.
And he probably did more that they left out.
Yeah.
Probably did more. So I just knew it was important, but I'm glad that I did because learning is so beautiful. Like when I was away and I was learning, I just remember saying, oh, wow, this is what they were talking about. Wow. I'm so just so much you learn. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it was like the perfect opportunity to do it. I know. Let me make the most of this time. Let me not just sit here and languish for 8 years and come home and what did I do?
And it passes time quicker too, because
Right.
now you have a routine and
Right.
you have to go to it. So you're not in, life, but you're living life the best.
You're
that you
like
can,
in a sub life.
Yeah.
This is like a sub.
but still have structure.
Right.
And a routine where you're not just, going through the motions for 8 years waiting to go.
Structure's everything, brother. That's what I lacked as an addict. We don't have structure and we run wild. But when you can get up every day at a certain time and then you got to do this at this time, you become like almost robotic, but it's good. We need that structure in our lives. We need it. We have to be a little bit like that. That's just the way it is,
So now, no matter what time you go to bed, do you wake up at the same time every day, no matter what?
Usually, yeah.
What time do you usually wake up?
I'm up anywhere between 6 and 7:30.
Even if you're up till 3, 4?
Yeah, because
God
you know
damn.
what it is? It's like I usually eat every day at the same times, and then I have my casein protein at the end of the day at a certain time. So thank God I'm a regular guy. My bowel movement moves regularly. So,
That's a good thing, right?
yeah. So it's like I know by my bowel movement what time it is in the morning. I know. I don't even got to do this. I just feel this, and I know.
You got your own alarm clock.
Yeah, it's about 6:37. Showing up. 6:48.
Break down those 4 things like you did.
Plan,
It's really good.
Plan, organize, lead, and control. First of all, you have to have a plan. Okay. What's the plan? Okay. This is the plan. Okay. So now you have the plan. So now you have to organize it. Maybe take this piece out. All right. This piece works for the plan, but I don't know if this will. So now you organized it. Okay. Now it's there. And now you put the players in their place of who's gonna take on what function. Now you lead it. You lead. Okay. Well, you're a leader. And when you're a leader in management, what I learned, you could be a boss, but then there's a leader. A leader's, psychology plays a part in this as well. And it's like, because you learn how to motivate different personality types. You have a workforce. You have 12 guys under you or 12 guys, women and men under you. So now the way you're going to motivate this person may not be the same as the way you're going to motivate this person because this personality type requires a little more finesse. Where this one, you can go a little more at the throat and they'll respond better this way. So these are, you know what I mean? You can have, but if you're misusing the pieces that you have, it can be disastrous. This person can be capable, very, very capable. But if you're not putting him or her in a place where those capabilities are going to shine, you misuse them and it's a waste.
And then where's the control aspect come in?
Well, as you control it. If you see something go wrong, no, you control that. Don't do that. Well, don't do that. But
Let's try it this way.
let's try it this way.
Yeah.
Let's control that a little bit better because if that goes this way, then this part is gonna, gonna be thrown. Let's go, and you monitor and you control it. And it's very simple: plan, organize, lead, and control.
It's simple, but you don't really think like that. Sometimes you do it without thinking, but then when it's like when you said that to me last night, I was like, shit, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, because
but that could apply to everything in life,
Right.
not just acting or moving.
Things are good to see on paper.
Yeah.
When you write stuff down, okay, and then you have whatever it is that you're trying to do. You can write that at the top. And then what is my plan? My plan is to make this. That's my plan. Okay, so how do I do that? I need to organize this. Okay, so if I want to carry this plan out the right way, I need this many people for these 4 functions and this and that. So now I'm organizing it. I'm going and finding the right people for the right functions. Okay, so now once all that's in place, now I can lead. Now I can say, okay, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. And then based on what you told them to do, you watch and you see how they do it. And now maybe that can be done a little bit better. So you control that. You control that and say, hey, listen, I think if you did that a little bit slower, you can get more. Because did you ever hear the term diminished returns, where it's a microeconomics term, where sometimes you think more people working in one small place is going to do you economic. It's not. That's what's called diminished returns, where there's too many people in one small place where you're not enough room for them to produce
To peak.
at their peak level.
Yeah.
To where if you took 3 people out of this room which would give these other people more room to work. You won't fall into diminished returns. That's what it's called.
And I would think even with that, even in regular business, that would play an effect because now, like say your 3 top guys, you have to give something to the mid-level guys. You're taking away from them top guys. And in a sense, it's almost like you're killing their talent because, you have too many people. Say you have a company. 3 guys are okay. 3 guys are your killers. But you got to give something to the 3 guys over here so they got something to do, basically.
Right.
But you're taking away from your killers. And then your killers are seeing that these guys are getting things that they can knock out in 2 seconds. And then they start to get content,
Right.
lack of motivation. It actually happened to me with the engineering company I had. I had too many engineers because I got too busy. And then, on months that it wasn't as busy as it was the month before, some of the engineers only got a couple jobs because I had double for everything. Because if I didn't, then the next month was so fucking busy, I didn't have enough.
Right.
But by doing that, I should have been smarter and not taken the jobs. But I fucked up because I had done the breakers and some other ones. Then all of a sudden, these like a monster movie comes along that you really don't want. It's going to drag you thin, but you see that number and you're like, shit, well, I'll find a way.
Yeah.
And by doing so, it affects everything. But had I just kept it the way I had in the beginning with 5 engineers and what I can handle, it would have been the best of the best. And then there wouldn't have been this, envy and price increase later in life where I ended up closing down the business.
Well, it's even that part, but also too many people where you would be more effective with less because it's too many people trying to do the same thing. Where if you took this out, there's more room for them to really bring out their quality work and their skill set and the things that they can shine in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I
think those are 4 great tips for any business. I think they're probably the best tips that you're ever going to hear.
Do you know what
other than the bullshit before they get to that part?
Do you ever when setting goals, because that's a big part of business, like as a business and now we plan, organize, lead, and control. This whole concept of is, our goal and why we put this together, our goal is this. But when you set goals, they should be set using the word, the acronym, not the word, the acronym SMART. So when you set a goal, it has to be specific, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, and target dates. It's very important. You can't just set a goal and say, I want to lose weight. That's not a realistic goal. And you can't say, I want to lose 100 pounds by next week. That's not attainable and not realistic. You wipe your ass with that. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, keep trying.
Yeah, what I mean? So, but like now, say if...
I like that target.
Yeah, target dates. Specific, measurable, attainable, results-oriented target dates.
That are possible.
Right. So now I'm very specific. I want to lose 35 pounds. Measurable. I'm measuring because I'm able to measure every day what I lost and what I gained. It's attainable. 30 pounds in 4 months? Say we'll give it 4 months or whatever. It's attainable. It's results-oriented. You're going to get results if you do it the right way. And you have a target date. Your target date is May 31st or whatever it is. That's the way you do it. Because you know what it is? When you're that specific about the way you laid it out, you're going to be more ambitious to be able to want to complete it.
Because mentally you took the time to lay it out.
Right.
And it's in your head now.
And because you're able to measure it and look at it and see it, it's going to give you more incentive to want to keep doing it.
And if you work hard, you're going to see results.
Right.
And a lot of times, all people need to see is just a little bit of results, and then they keep at it.
And then they feel good about themselves.
Right.
Intrinsic motivation. And once you feel good about yourself, you do good about yourself.
Look at this fucking guy with all these big words this time. Who is this guy?
But I'm saying...
Whoa, Lillo's...
You have extrinsic motivation when things out there make you feel good about yourself, or intrinsic is when you did something to make you feel good about yourself.
Dude, I see a big difference from the last time you were in here. I mean, we talk all the time on the phone, but I see, man, you're ready to go. You're ready.
Yeah,
you got your head right.
Yeah, no, I take pride. Right? I take pride in learning. There's so much information out there, and we only have so much time to get as much of this information as possible. And, I try to get as much as possible. I love reading. I love learning. It's a really, really a beautiful thing.
Podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go to www.expressvpn.com. Use code MSCS and get 20% off your order.
VPN is a power tool for your devices that enhances the internet. With it, you can do 3 really cool things. 1. Watch movies and TV from any of your devices, fast and securely. 2. You can use parts of the internet that are blocked in certain countries. 3. You can keep your internet traffic private, even when you're on an unsecured public network.
That's www.expressvpn.com. Use the code MSCS at checkout and get 20% off your order. Got out of the fucking car last night. So we can't say too much, but I could say Meadow. I can say Meadow?
Yeah.
Okay. So how in the hell did you get into a movie with Meadow? I know you were on The Sopranos before. Is it kind of that how it happened?
You know, my manager, no, it had nothing to do with Sopranos. My manager, Eric Kritzer, he told me about, this is a short film. It's called I'm on Fire. He told me about this short film and, mentioned the director and who he was. And no, that's the one before.
Yeah, keep going back.
That one
Yeah.
right there. So he mentioned this film. I don't know when I first heard about it, I don't know if she had been cast or not. But I read the script and I saw what it was. And like I said, my father was a concrete guy like this character, Sal. My mom did the books like her. So when I read this, I'm like, wow, I lived this.
And sorry to interrupt you, but what's the difference between a short film? I mean, I understand the length, but in the movie industry, when you say short film, can you explain that?
Well, short films are not really to make money. It's not really about the money, more just for the director or writer to showcase something that they
got in their pocket
It's
or
more,
something.
it's more for prestige.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You get people that, and we had a nice budget for this. We had Panavision cameras. We had top-notch everything. They spent money on this. They really believed in Michael, as they should. And David Stern, very talented, the both of them. It was great working with them. It was great working with everyone else. And he mentioned it, and I remember this was out in L.A., and then I had Michael and Dave come meet me at my friend's pizzeria down by the beach, Paisanos, Hermosa Beach. Give Dino a little plug. Dino, you owe me. So they came down, and we started talking. They liked me, and they mentioned her as a possibility. And I thought that was cool. I thought that would be cool. You know what I mean? Because I always liked her as an actress, and I think just the whole, because there's already a brand. There's already a brand there, that Sopranos association, and that alone.
That's going to benefit it. no
Yeah,
matter what.
that alone, people will watch it just because of that, but it's got a lot of substance. This is not something that's people should watch because Meadow and, Calogero are in the film. Watch it because it's very well written. It's very well acted. She's tremendous in it. And
So what's your part? You're a concrete guy.
yeah, I'm an abusive dad.
You're an abusive dad.
Sal. But this. I'm an abusive dad. What I am doing is what I am a product of what I saw my father do. So then it goes from this generation to the next one and to the next one. And, and she's trying to break it. Like, what the hell are you doing? I don't want to end up like, like your mom. And, I don't want to say too much about it, but I'll tell you what, it's very, 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 very well written.
Now, and that's completed?
Oh, yeah.
And when do you think that will pop out?
This possibility, we'll be in the Tribeca Film Festival this year.
When is that?
May.
May?
Yeah.
Ooh, so it might be out.
Yeah.
It might be out real soon.
Yeah. That would be cool.
They don't fucking tell you when it's going to come out?
I spoke to Michael recently. He said it's got a really good shot in going to the Tribeca Film Fest. And that would be huge because De Niro will be right there. And De Niro
That'd be great, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? When I saw he was doing a movie with Meadow, I was like, damn, bringing him back. Especially after that fucking Sopranos movie that they tried to make.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I don't think so. No.
The
Many Saints of Newark.
Many Saints of Newark. It's not worth your time.
I'm going to tell you.
My opinion.
Okay. You know the title where it came from?
No.
The Many Saints of Newark?
No, I don't.
Okay. You remember in The Godfather? Remember Frankie Pentangeli?
Yeah.
So I says, yeah, showing. His name, Pentangeli. Remember his nickname? You remember Tom Hagen? Remember when he went to see him?
I don't remember Tom
Remember they
Hagen.
were smoking the
Concierge.
cigars? Remember when Frankie was in jail? And remember at the end they spoke
I'm
about
with you now.
the old Roman empires and how they used to, If you remember, Robert Duvall, Tom Hagen, told him, because he was going to do the right thing. He talked to him. He's going to do the right thing. So then Tom tells him, don't you worry about a thing, Frankie Five Angels. That's his nickname, Pentangeli. Penta is a pentagram. You got 5 sides. Pentangeli, 5 angels. The Many Saints of Newark, the last name, Moltisanti, means many saints. Many saints. So that's the Many Saints of Newark, the Moltisantis of Newark. That's where the title came from. But they you know, oh my God. When I saw The Irishman, when I watched it, even though all the actors and stuff like that, my main goal and main reason for seeing that movie, I wanted to learn something more about who killed Jimmy Hoffa. Okay? When I watched The Many Saints of Newark, I wanted to learn where Tony Soprano came from, the metamorphosis. How did he become the boss of Jersey? What, you know, because, you know, you have a psychopath, you have a psychopath, and then you have a sociopath. A psychopath is born crazy, okay? But then you have a sociopath. A sociopath has been made crazy by society, like the Joker. He's the perfect example of a sociopath. Nothing goes his way and this and that. And that's what Tony was. Tony Soprano was a sociopath.
In real life.
No, well, his character.
His character.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't born psychotic. He was born in a good family that loved him and this and that. But then society and the way he grew up made him that. So he's a sociopath. You know? I want to see how he became a sociopath. What in society drove him and made him become this? I didn't learn that. What is the only thing he did in that movie is when they stole the Mr. Softy truck?
Yeah.
But that's from that, now he's a boss? It was a little confusing with the friends, you know, like the age groups and this and that. And at the end of the movie, remember his uncle wanted nothing to do with him? So it's kind of like he shunned him because remember in jail, Ray Liotta told him, stay away from him. Leave this, you're not doing this kid a service by staying with him. So then he didn't want to win him. So the way the movie ended, you would think that Tony like went and became an altar boy, like Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
Right? Remember at the end, C was done with it. He seen Sonny get killed. Pesci asked him, you want to come by the bar? You come see me? No, I'm all right.
I'm done with this shit.
I'm right.
Yeah.
So that's what you would thought that's going to happen. So if they did make another Bronx Tale, C's probably like, you know, working on Wall Street. You got Jane as his girl. You know what I'm saying?
And he's got Jordan Belfort running that.
He's got a boiler room somewhere, right?
Don't penny stocks and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
So, and I didn't learn any of that. And you know what it is? I think I didn't like Ray Liotta as twins.
Yeah,
it was
that
weird.
Fucking weird. And Ray Liotta is such a good
He's
actor.
awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah. But he's one that kind of got stuck in that role too.
You know, but because of Goodfellas, it was such a great movie.
It
He's
just
always,
buried
always,
him. It buried him.
Yeah, but he worked so much because of it.
Yeah.
You know, but
Great guy though. Great fucking guy.
And you know what it is? I think it spent a little too much time on the mistress.
Yeah. It was
more of a love story with the mistress.
Yeah,
and then the
it was-
riots in Newark.
Yeah.
It had too many. It didn't focus. It was going this way, and then right when you follow this, then it goes this way.
So when I went to see it, I thought, okay, they're starting from the beginning, but they're going to get to current times, and that never happened. And I think every Soprano fan that went to see it, you know, not like you, who's actually in the Sopranos, you know, fans. We had gone looking to see more Sopranos because nobody liked the way it ended. You know, it was like you were still thinking.
No, they left it open.
They left it open.
Yeah, I thought
probably to do a movie with James
Gandolfini.
Yeah, fuck.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man, fuck.
But
you think there was anything shady with that, or just straight up?
no, I just think that you know.
I asked you that before.
Yeah.
I know. I was just double
Well, he was a-
asking
he
to see
was
if I get a different question.
No, but I'm
or
saying
answer.
he was a big guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't the healthiest guy. You know, and eventually your body's, you know, can't take it anymore. Like when we're kids in our 20s, you could be driving a bike 100 miles an hour, get hit by a tractor trailer. 2 days later, you're playing with your friends.
Yo, how about a transition
Right?
with him though?
A little bandage on, you're good.
How about his transition? He played a gay guy.
In the what was that? The
One of the last movies he did.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
played a homosexual.
yeah, but the
I think
Mexican or something.
Yeah, in school you're not allowed to say gay in some places.
Yeah, the Mexican.
Homosexual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the Mexican. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
But he played a homosexual.
Yeah, no, he's
that's
awesome.
that's a fucking transition from the boss, right?
I didn't even think he was going to be right for the role of Tony Soprano because I seen him in Get Shorty. I worked with him on Crimson Tide. He had a small role. He was in
And he played a great role. He played great. I couldn't believe it.
Tony Soprano.
He sold me.
No, he was the best I ever seen somebody play that character.
But I mean, in his other roles.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like when he went and played that role as a homosexual, he was perfect.
Everything he did was great.
Unbelievable.
And he's like so soft spoken and speaks like he's very articulate and doesn't speak with that Jersey accent. He speaks with like a real, So when I saw him play the Tony Soprano, when I first saw The Coming Attraction, because I read for the first season, but I didn't get the part. So I knew of the show, and then like I totally forgot about it. I'm just watching TV, and I was, The Sopranos, The Coming Attraction. I'm like, that's the guy they chose?
You thought, no way?
Yeah, because I've seen the guy before. I've seen him around, and I'm like, that's the guy? Like, I was thinking like maybe they could have went with a more obvious choice, like Frank Vincent. But
turned out perfect.
Nah,
It couldn't have been better.
Tony was awesome.
They probably thought that what happened wouldn't have happened, and they probably were ending it that way to make a real movie with it. Do you think, or do you think that it would have they would have made a movie like this either way?
No, I don't think they expected Gandolfini to die.
So you think they would have put him in?
Yeah.
And maybe had that beginning, but then led to current.
I'm trying to think. When was the last? The last episode aired in like 07, 08, and then he died in 13.
Yeah.
So that's like 5-6 years later. So I don't know. I don't know if
maybe
they were
not.
Maybe they weren't planning. Maybe
because to wait 5 years after, you're kind of stretching.
No,
but then again,
if anything, a year or two.
Yeah, but they're making. What are they coming out with? What did Brill say last night? They're coming out with something, a part 2 of something that I thought they never would have. I don't know. Jamie Foxx is playing Mike Tyson.
Oh, is
the
he?
new Tyson movie? Yeah.
I could see him pulling that off.
That's going to be killer.
That's wild.
I could see him pulling that off.
Yeah, that's wild.
Who else? I was saying to Brill, who else could play? Who else to pull it off?
Well, first of all, you need the star power. Jamie Foxx definitely has a lot of star power. And he's one of the most talented guys around. I think he will be great. Look what he did with Ray Charles.
Yeah.
He's got to be beefing up, though, right? He's got
Eating you might be able to find some pictures on Google. I saw him on my phone. He's definitely beefed the fuck up.
I'm thinking of it. I think he's gonna have the lisp and everything. I think he's gonna be perfect.
Perfect.
He's so good.
That guy.
You're right though. He's got to beef him up a little bit.
Yeah. He's got a game.
You got to hit a cycle.
Because remember, he's gonna.
Mike Tyson's neck was like this back in the day, bro.
There, look, you can see he's getting a little bit bigger. I think that one of those pictures there might be. Jamie Foxx is set to portray Mike Tyson. Okay, Rob, thanks.
Sorry.
You could see a little bit of a resemblance.
No, I think Jamie Foxx is going to be great. I just think he needs to get
on
bigger.
That one right there.
This one?
Up top. Go up one.
Right.
Yeah.
Face-wise and the lift and all that, I think he's going to do great.
Shit.
Wow, Antoine Fuqua, he did Training Day.
Yeah.
He was supposed to do American Gangster.
It says Jamie Foxx will play boxing great Mike Tyson in a new biography. Read this, Rob.
Jamie Foxx will play boxing great Mike Tyson in a
he's
new
going to be producing.
biographical limited series Variety has learned. The series titled simply Tyson is not currently set up on a network or streaming service, but will no doubt find one quickly, given the names attached to it. Antoine Fuqua is on board to direct and executive producer via whatever.
Fuqua Films.
With Martin Scorsese also executive producing via Chicago.
Wow, I would love to get on that.
Fuck, Scorsese's behind it. I didn't know that. Well,
he was also a producer on the Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah,
and he directed the pilot.
That's right.
And there was one scene you could just see his style. Like you watch certain directors, they like to frame things the same way and the shots and the way. And remember when Pesci got killed and he was on the floor with the black and white little tiles, and you just see like this, and then the blood just like goes like that. There was a scene in Boardwalk Empire, just the way it was shot. I knew it was Scorsese.
Series is where the money's at, right?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck.
Yeah, because you get job security, man. But this looks awesome.
This is gonna be killer.
There you go.
I love him,
There's
bro.
his workout. It says Jamie Foxx just revealed the workout he's doing to pack on muscle to play Mike Tyson.
See what it says. Scroll down.
You know what it is like? I'm not going to name any names, but there's other actors who did come off like start their careers as like comedians that did try to get to like real serious actors. But to me, I don't think they ever accomplished that.
Wait, I'm sorry, Lilo.
But
Go
this
back.
guy
Look,
has.
he's doing. I do 60 pull-ups. We do 60 dips, 100 push-ups, changing the body. I think he needs to be doing a little bit more than that if he's trying to play Mike Tyson.
Well, first of all, I think he needs to go on some creatine. Not juice, but
Yeah.
get some creatine. It's all about the diet.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. There's a picture.
there,
Oh, yeah.
he's getting there, and he's got the haircut too. That's Jamie Foxx right there.
Oh, yeah. He's
The transformation begins. Finding Mike. I guess that's what it's going to be called. It's no secret that I have been pursuing.
Yeah, right there you look so. You know what it
Yeah.
is too? Like on film, you always
Yo,
look bigger
yo.
anyway. Yeah.
That's from a phone camera.
Let me tell you something. This guy,
Damn, that's going to be a monster.
push-ups, pull-ups, and dips.
Dips. Yeah.
Push-ups, pull-ups.
And he's got the genetics too.
Well.
you know.
Jamie Foxx, man, when he did Ray Charles, he showed me he's a real actor.
Hell yeah, he is.
He's not only a comedian, a guy
Singer, rapper,
Yeah, no.
dancer.
He's everything.
He's everything.
He's awesome.
There's nothing he is.
None but respect for that guy. He is great.
Looks good.
Now you got Sleepyhead. Now they're probably going to hold it, which we were talking about, which they should. You know, this is a bad year to really release something like that. I would think.
I think next year, I think a lot of the smoke is going to clear from all the residual effects from the pandemic. God willing, next year things should be. And I think we just started editing, and you know it's a little too late to submit it for the Tribeca Film Festival for this year, which we would love to. You know, because we have another cast member. I don't want to say who's also in the film that I think when people see it, are going to be like, "Whoa, I can't believe it." You know,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's going to be.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
We'll
to
just
see
say
it.
this: the next time you come, I don't care if you got to tie her up, bring her.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's going to be awesome. And I just think that timing is everything. You release a film too early, and then it's just like goes unnoticed, and that's it. You had one bite at the apple, and you didn't bite it at the right time. But I think, we wait, and our investor, our producer, executive producer, Ricky Nardis, he's the vice president of the soccer team, Venezia. That's like
Huge.
Yeah, that's like the Italian Premier League, because you have Serie A, which is A League, and then Serie B. Serie A is like the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have Serie B. So every year, the few last teams of Serie A get demoted, and the few top teams get promoted. So now, his team is in Serie A, and he was telling me that they give the team $30 million. The league gives the team $30 million just to start. Like, here, now you're in it, that's $30 million, then whatever money they have to get players and stuff like that. And there's the Venice Film Festival. So hopefully we can get it in that film festival as well. I think we have a really good shot.
When's that?
I don't know. But just the mere fact that
That-
our investor Ricky Nardis and Jimmy Hilger wrote and directed, that he's vice president, I think gives us a little bit of an advantage over someone else trying to get the film in the festival. And I don't think it really needs. I think it's good on its own.
Yeah. Can you go to slide 4 and go through some of the new slides that Lilo shared? Keep going right there. Okay, so tell us about this scene here. This is Sleepyhead.
Yeah, this is a scene. I see this guy in this. Like, these are all characters in hell, and he's trying to ask me what my worst, my dirtiest secret is, and he's trying to get. And it's just like the dialogue, and then he starts talking about his diet, and it's really off the wall stuff.
And the lighting. Like the lighting just is like kind of dark lighting.
Yeah,
like,
and I feel bad, like, because this guy and we didn't get off to the best start, because when, like, because we were outside, and like not inside, because inside we all wore masks at all times, because that's you have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because listen, I don't think. I mean, it's got less than a 1% mortality rate, but there are older people that can get sick and die. They don't, because the virus is a pathogen. It's got to run its course. When you have an old person with a weak immune system, by the time it's run its course, that person's going to be dead 3 times. We're younger. We were able to fight it. But I remember this poor guy, like when we were outside and we were running lines, he had his mask on. So I said, you don't have to wear your mask. Like, it's cool. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to let him know. And then I think he said something like both his parents or his mom died from COVID.
Oh,
And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So you never know.
you never know.
You never know. And this guy was awesome, dude. He was just look at his wardrobe. He had his own this is gonna be so real. You've never seen anything like this. I promise you.
awesome.
These are all characters from hell. And he goes, and don't fucking lie or I'll know. He's got these big teeth. You can't see him, dude. Look at you can see
Yeah, right here, like the grin almost.
bro. Yeah, dude. Trust me, he's so nuts looking. I don't even see him there.
What kind of camera is that, Rob?
That looks like a.
Is that red?
Yeah, it is. You see it. Look, see red over there.
Yeah. What are they a piece? 100?
They're sick, disgusting, beautiful cameras.
How
Not
much
disgusting in a bad way.
How much money are they?
The lenses are what cost the most. The body, I think the body's probably 80,000, and then you're talking about the lenses are. Forget about
So minimum 100 per camera.
a minimum, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, but when you see the quality,
Yeah,
and,
it's- well, you're shooting a real movie, you know.
Yeah.
You go to the next one. This is I think this is cool just to see the actual. So now that's the red camera. What does I guess they're shooting at 23 frames per second? That seems
Yep,
kinda-
23. That's 4K.
And then what's ISO 1600?
That's your amount of light that you're letting in.
Aren't they shooting 5K because it says 5K WS
Where's that at?
up top there?
Wide,
see when it says
wide
frames
screen.
per second. You know that's what controls slow motion or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now what are you doing here in this scene?
Well,
Ferrari, obviously.
because the movie takes place in hell, we got this guy who's actually our investor, and that's his car. We kind of want to make the devil you know what I mean? That's his car. You don't know. It's ambiguous. It can be understood either way. But this is, you never see him in the car, but you just see this, this guy's in hell and he's trying to get out of here.
And he's actually in hell in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes across these characters and there's something off about everybody. And this friggin' guy, this Ferrari's just taunting him.
Yeah.
It's just taunting him. And then he shows up at the movie theater and then the Ferrari's there. But he never saw the guy. So he don't know who it is when he goes in there. There's so much good stuff in there, dude.
It looks good.
Yeah.
And then what's going on here?
He's dead.
Well, that's the kid. That's the guy's father. He's beating up his father. Think about how evil that is. He's beating his father, kicking him in the face. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
And you're just leaving work and run into him?
Yeah, no, not leaving work. I was at work, and that's when I go in the manhole, and then boom, and then I wake up, and I'm in this friggin' place. And then I stumble upon this guy. I'm like, who is this? He's your father? What the hell? This is a bad place, you know? But that scene was tough. I'll tell you why. Because look at that. Look, dude, we're right on the highway. We're right. That's Bronx-Yonkers border. That's 241st and White Plains Road, and that's McLean Avenue.
You need a permit to do that little bit? No.
You know, you're supposed to. But,
Yeah. Okay, so
we're
you got
guerrilla
one.
filmmakers. Baby. We went over there. Here's my permit. I'll see you later. We're done. Get in the car. Get to the next location.
Run.
You got 3-4 cars pulling out like we just did a hit, but meanwhile we just leaving because we didn't have a permit. We don't want to-
They probably think you just whacked
Yeah, I
him.
know. We just killed someone. No, we don't got a permit.
There's Lillo. We
Yeah.
we almost got him once.
Yeah. And we're grown men and women run away for lack of a permit.
So now why was that so hard?
It was so
I interrupted
hard because there was so much noise.
Yeah.
You got cars underneath.
How do they block that out?
You don't.
Just got to deal with it.
You shoot it and then you hope for the best. But what's going to end up happening is we're going to have to do this in a studio. It's called ADR. ADR is an acronym for two things. It can either first you cut the movie together. You find all the best pieces, you edited it. So now this is your final cut. So now, say now on the final cut, the way we cut it, he's talking, but there's a second when the camera's on the back of your head where we could use a little line because it'll make what he said more sense. It'll make it more cohesive. So now you're in the studio. So in that sense, it would be called additional dialogue recording. You're recording additional dialogue to insert in little pieces where you won't be seen or your face is like that. You know what I mean? Just to make the story. You know what I mean? So,
and then they got to mix all that together.
yeah, or ADR can also mean automated dialogue replacement. So now you're in the studio, right? You got the mic. There's a big screen. You're in a soundproof room with the cushions on the doors, and you get guys killing each other out there. You're not going to hear it. So you watch the guys on the mic, the sound guy and the director, they're probably out there. Okay, Lillo, this one here, your performance was great, but I just think that, the quality of the sound on the last line is not really that good. So basically, just do it exactly the way you were, but we just want to be able to get that last word. Okay, so now you watch it, and because you got to recreate the rhythm, the pace,
The moment.
everything. Like one time I knew I had to do someone. Stay down, man. I don't want to hurt you in the Bronx Tale. I brought my friend Anthony there. I threw him a few bucks because I had him on the floor choking him. I don't want to hurt you, man, because he's pushing against me because you like the sound.
Yeah.
And it works. So now you're in there, you watch the thing, and then you have 3 beeps, and you're going to be the 4th beat. So it's boop, boop, boop. What do you want me to do? Run away? Make people think I got no heart? I can't do that.
So then they take that scene, then mute the audio, and then put that audio.
So now
over.
what they'll do is,
Yeah.
because a lot of times it works, because that's you. Like your own. You. The only person that can write like you is you.
Yeah.
The person that can have those certain inflections in their voice is you. So a lot of times it's gonna work, because it's your voice. And even though sometimes it's not even, they could slide it just a little and it looks like you perfect. And sometimes, and you can make the film, you can actually make it better. If it's good ADR, but if it's
I'm
bad,
glad I'm not the guy trying to mix that or match the audio with the video.
But it
Side
works.
shot like that, I don't think would be too bad. But head on, that might be a little.
Yeah, but now because of that,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do a lot of ADR.
Well, it will make it better, like you said.
It'll
Otherwise,
make-
you're gonna hear. You probably won't even be able to hear you under that.
No, I said that to James, the director, because he said the footage looks great. I said that's not what's important. I says, how does it sound? I know it's going to look good because I put my heart and soul into this. I really did. I was so focused. I really want this film to do well. I really do, and put a lot into it. And I just hope. We had this guy Waleed Sokar. He was our DP. Dude, the way he lit it and the way it looks like a classic 70s film. It's really good, man.
Go to the next one. I think it's gonna hit. That's it. I think it's gonna hit because it's a lot different. You got leprechauns in this shit. You got you're coming from hell. All kinds of crazy wild stuff. And then they have a Silent Order, Zombie, Who Killed Jimmy Gumdrops, Bleeding Greed, I'm on Fire, Monsters of Mulberry Street, The Fury, and Sleepyhead. They have all them listed as you're in the process of making.
Well, okay, Zombie.
If that's right or not, I don't know. But
The Fury.
That's fucking IMBD or whatever.
Yeah, no. The Fury. That's where I play Tommy Moretti. I play a cop in that. Good little role for me. Not too far from what I am. It's like a tough cop, and it's like a vigilante movie. Shot really well. Looks really cool.
What about Monsters of Mulberry Street? That has a good sound.
Yeah, but you know what? We did it in 2014. I played a priest.
God damn, that long ago?
Yeah, I did it.
The fuck are they holding on to it
I
so long?
don't know if he had the money to finish it.
And then I'm on Fire is the one with Meadow.
Yeah,
right?
Zombie was going to be from the guy who did The Fury. That was another idea that he had. So I guess he listed it. And
Who Killed Jimmy Gumdrops? What's that one?
I don't even know.
They got you in there, so
you probably know better than me.
It says your buddy Falcone.
Who?
Buddy Falcone. It's up there. Go to the. I'll show you. Go to Chrome, and there's Zombie. There's Silent Order. Where the fuck is it? That one? Right there. They got you. Stars. Lillo Brancato, Tony Devon, Robert Moran. You have no idea.
Okay, yeah. No. I do. That's my friends from Philadelphia. They mentioned. I didn't know that was the title, but now I see the name Sal and guys like that. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's that about?
I don't know much about it.
But you were fucking in it. How do you not know much about it?
Well, I've never got a script.
Yeah.
Okay. I was basically
pre-production.
Yeah, I was basically just told it's not a big role. My friend Anthony, the guy Sal, I'm friendly with.
What about Silent Order? That sounds like a good name.
The guy Joe that we know from over there that
Yeah.
Friends with that guy.
Oh, okay.
Anthony is, and
okay.
great guys, and love Anthony's brother Georgie, and they, I would love to, they want me in it, and it would be my pleasure.
The name of the movie is going to hit. But, I mean, it takes you back to that role shit. But you got so many others at the same time that are different. So
yeah, but Anthony and George, my
yeah,
friends,
yeah,
and,
fuck yeah, you do that, you know.
I didn't know Anthony. Those guys are Sicilian, man.
What about a silent?
I'll show you. He even told me, "Ma che bello dialetto." He said, "What a beautiful dialect." He heard me speak.
Yeah.
Che bello dialetto. Bello. Like Italians would say bello. Hey, bello. Bello means hey, handsome. Yeah, bello.
A handsome man.
Yeah, but Italians would say, Sicilians say, hey, bello. Bello. It's different.
I know.
You know, like Sicilian, like Italian would say, like, say if an Italian was asking you where were you born, they would say, dove sei nato? Dove sei nato tu? Sicilians would say, di uno nasciste. Like the way like Spanish people say, adonde naciste? Di uno, from where, nasciste. From where were you born? Sicilians like speak like a crazy dialect. I speak it really well too. Like I can hold court. Like I've been at relatives' houses on my father's side where I'll have a room of like 20 people and I'll be speaking Sicilian. I'll start telling stories. They cannot get over how well I speak that dialect. But you know what? I wish I spoke. I do speak proper Italian, but not as well as the Sicilian dialect, which I wish I did because like the Sicilian dialect nowadays is like almost useless. You know what I mean? It's like
I can never get it. I can never get it. Fucked me up.
Because back in the day, nobody went to school. Everybody took on a craft.
Yeah.
But now everybody goes to school. So, like, stavo parlando con questo caroso cerissa. You know, like I'm
you have the one generation with the slang.
And my aunt tells me, Leluccio, ma perché parla così? Why do you speak like this? She's like, nobody speaks like that. You sound crazy. What are you doing? Speak it that. I don't know. I just like it because it reminds me of my dad. You know what I mean? My father was, you know what I mean? We spoke Sicilian. My father loved.
Don't Sicilians do? Don't you guys play that game Hands? It's called when you throw like ocho.
Yeah, my cousins.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my cousins in 17 years, but no,
yeah, they did in the Bronx Tale. Remember? Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
I had your fun. Remember when we were in front of the social club? That's what they're playing. I remember. I don't know that game too much, but
the old dudes.
Yeah, so this is a small role. The zombie, I don't know if that'll ever happen. Silent Order.
Mike Nolan, that's the go to
that one.
Two over, to the other way, Rob. There you go. They got Luke Goss, Robert Davi, Lillo Brancato, pre-production. And this would be, even though you don't know about it,
Army priest with PTSD.
That'd be a cool role for you.
I played a priest in Monsters of Mulberry Street. Because
that's on, dude. This is on IMDb. This isn't like on like some weird Google thing. This is, you don't know about this?
No, I know. I don't know if they were ever able to secure the financing. That's what I think happened with that.
That would have been good though. Well, maybe they will.
But I
it's
did
a bad fucking time right now.
Monsters of Mulberry Street. Right, I'd been home from prison probably like 3 weeks. So I was home because that's where I had a parole. My brother lived downstairs with his wife, kids. So my brother, he comes from the downstairs. He goes, yo, Lee. He goes, just so you know, there's a kid outside he wants to talk to. His name is Frankie. He goes, be careful. He's got a box in his hand. He goes, I'll be watching from downstairs. So my brother was down the downstairs door. So I'm like, so I come out here and I see this kid, like he's got a box, like my brother said. I'm like he was like, yo, what's up, Lillo? He's like, my name is Frankie Montero. I'm also from Yonkers. I look up to you as an actor. That's all I was, I went to Sacred Heart like you. He's a younger kid. And he's like, dude, I got this script. He even bought me like some cookies for my family. He did the right nice kid, So he has the script, Monsters of Mulberry Street. They wanted me to play this dude, Rocco. Rocco's like hijacking trucks, breaking people's faces. I just came home. This poor family still grieving their son and brother who I, made a contribution. And you know what I mean? I'm not, I take full responsibility how my actions did make a contribution. You know what I mean? I got to take responsibility for that. That's the only way we get better. The only way we overcome problems is admit we have one. You know what I mean? That was a problem. My involvement in it was a problem. And I admit it and I'm responsible for it. And that's the only way we can be peaceful with ourselves. You know what I mean? If you're not peaceful with yourself, you can't be peaceful with someone else. And that's something that I still have to work on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like I do these videos on Instagram and they're very insightful. There's wisdom there. But I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to preach or that I think that I'm better and this is my word. And no, that's not the case. The case is I still struggle with a lot of things. Yeah, I did overcome drug addiction, but I have an addictive personality. So different things manifest. You know what I mean? Definitely the lesser of, the evils. But sometimes when I say this stuff, it's because I still am working in certain aspects of my life to become better. So I'm speaking these things into existence because it helps me as well. So I don't want anyone to mistake that I think I'm some big preacher like a Joel Osteen and big crowd. It's so, no.
Yeah, or pushing on somebody.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just, hopefully you can grab some little nuggets, things that I say, and
Take them with you.
take them with you and use them in a constructive way. It's going to benefit you and, make your life better and the quality of your life. That's great. But a lot of this stuff, because sometimes you get people, they come at you on social media, you're this and you preach this.
Fuck them. Don't even read it.
It's like,
fuck them.
I'm not preaching anything. I'm preaching something that I think is important for you to know that I still struggle with for myself. I'm not saying that I don't engage in this kind of stuff. Sometimes I do these things because I do engage in this kind of behavior and I don't want to. And the only way I can do it is by working at it and by speaking it to existence and hearing it myself. It may have a different effect than just thinking about it.
And if people didn't see the first one, tell everybody what you do. What do you do it every week or twice a week?
Well, I'm director of public relations in New Jersey at More Life Recovery. It's an IOP, intensive outpatient. I go in every Wednesday. I do a group, which I love. You know what I mean? You got you got grown men and women as well, but it's usually they're younger. A lot of these kids, they look up to me. And they, because I come there, I'm always dressed up and, they see I'm in shape. I make them laugh and, and they're like, damn, this guy's a pretty cool dude. But I let them know I was where you were and even worse. And then we watch my documentary and they could see like, wow, this guy got shot. He was in jail. Like his story's real.
But weren't you doing an Instagram thing every week or a video? You still doing it?
Yeah, right. Part of my obligation is to do 2 videos a week. And that's what I do. But not to say that I only do it because I'm asked to. I do it because it helps me and it helps other people.
Well, and also it makes you responsible for other people because now these people are looking up to you. So if you slip, you know damn well that they're going to slip.
Well, you've just incorporated accountability. Now you're being held accountable. Because accountability if that concept is very, very important in overcoming drugs and alcohol. Because if you're not accountable to anyone or anything, every day it's going to be like, I'll just start tomorrow. I'll just start Monday. But when you're held accountable, I saw the other person who's calling you, yo, did you do that? Yeah, bro, I'm doing it now. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have done it, but the accountability and then we hold each other accountable. Because I'm holding you accountable to do the things that I'm telling you are going to benefit you. But now because I'm telling you to do that, and I'm kind of like, I'm leading.
Mentor.
I don't want to say,
nice way to say it.
I don't want to say leader, but your mentor and help leading you in the direction of sobriety, that adds that extra layer of strength for me.
Right, because now you're responsible for somebody else's
life. If
life.
I fall, not only do I fall, but now this kid's looking up to me. He's going to say, if Lillo went and got high, I'm going to do the same thing.
And how if he dies?
And now if he dies, that's
deal with that
on
in your
you, bro.
Yeah.
That's on you. Do you want that to happen? No. And I've said this. I would be afraid to relapse nowadays. Fentanyl? My body's so clean right now. If I even looked at fentanyl, I would die. If I looked at it on the table, I'd start shaking,
All right, but we got to do this. Last thing, right? We did it last time. We always do it. Okay, I know who you picked last time. Who's the GOAT? I got 2 questions. Did you think Brady was going to retire? Yes or no? I didn't think he was. I thought he was going to play another year to try to win.
Personally, I would like Brady to come to the Dolphins. Give us 1 year. At least get us to the playoffs. You know what I mean? For the Dolphins, the playoffs. I've never been to the playoffs since when Chad Pennington was quarterback when they lost to the Baltimore Ravens. Remember? It was the Mad Dog offense. No, the Mad Dog defense versus the Wildcat. Remember? That was the year of the Wildcat.
Yeah.
Then the Baltimore Ravens, they spoiled that Wildcat in 2 seconds because they were ferocious. You're not going to do that against them.
Remember that fucking defense?
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah, 2000 when Ray Lewis was there, that's the best defense ever.
Oh,
better than the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, we forgot about Ray Lewis.
Because you got Mike Singletary. Don't get me wrong. Singletary was an awesome middle linebacker, remember with the chubby face and the eyes and the way he used to look. But nobody was like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis won most valuable player. in the Super Bowl.
Amazing.
When do you ever hear of
Never.
of a middle linebacker winning most valuable player? But he controlled. But he was banging guys up. But he was killing guys. Yo, he was hitting guys. They were flipping. Ray Lewis commanded that middle post.
Commanded, and nobody wanted to get hit by him. Nobody.
Nah, that man, that defense, and it goes to show how that whole team, their success hinged on the defense so much that even after winning a Super Bowl, they went and got rid of their quarterback. Yeah. How do you win a Super Bowl? The guy's a proven winner. He just won. You have a system in place with these players. It works.
I don't know why they break up these. Just like the Bulls, Jordan was willing to play. They were all willing to play.
It works.
And that fucking Jerry Krause didn't want to deal with Phil. They would have probably won.
They left.
More.
Remember, they got rid of Trent Dilfer. And
Yeah.
do you remember who they went and got?
No.
Elvis Gerback.
Oh my God.
That's why I don't fucking remember.
Come on, bro.
That's why I don't remember.
Come on, bro. I mean, listen. It's not that I don't like Elvis Gerback, but
why break up a team that
why
just won?
you were ready? What you have created,
Manhandled people.
the system you've created, offensive and defensive, it works to the point where you won a championship.
Bro, the under-over was always the under when you played them.
You know what they say? If something's not broke, don't fix it. Don't fix it. You can always make it better.
But sometimes when you try to make it better, you fuck it up.
Right.
I say just leave it as it is. Maybe add a little piece here and there, but,
Subtle. Not the whole friggin' not the whole quarterback.
Yeah, subtle.
Come on.
Yeah, that was.
Trent Dilfer was okay for that team.
He fit.
He didn't have to put up that many points. No. You had a good running game.
Don't turn it over.
Because when you got a good running game, you don't need a great quarterback because that opens up the pass. Because they're looking for the run every down. And then you got two guys, they're playing a zone to get and then you know what I mean? And then you hit them.
He said Brady might come back.
They're saying, rumor has it.
Why? He should come back. Because you know what?
49ers.
If there was, yeah. My cousin Mario is a 49er. Yeah.
And what are they going to do with...
He grew up a 49ers fan, and he's from LA, or out that way, I guess, San Fran and Brady.
But they got Mahomes.
He wants to
what would they do with Mahomes? Oh, no, Mahomes with Kansas City.
Yeah.
I fucked that up.
No, they got Garoppolo. They could wipe their ass with Garoppolo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's the only reason why that team didn't get to the next level.
Correct, yeah.
So as of now, who's your GOAT? Same? Quarterback.
We got to say Brady, right?
I say Brady.
Yeah. But
Rob, you're still with your Montana?
Joe Montana.
See, well, listen, then we can go to that, too. The only reason why, when Brady came to the Buccaneers and won a championship, it's kind of hard to argue he's not the best. Because Montana went to the Chiefs, and he wasn't able to do that. But here's the thing. Tom Brady plays in a league that's not as hard as back in the day. It's not as rough. Back in the day, there was all the rule changes favor the offense. Yeah. The numbers are inflated. All right, Tom Brady threw 50 touchdowns in 2007. The rules were changed. Manning did it. Nobody did it up until then because the rules weren't changed. Marino did it in 84 without the rules. He threw 48 touchdowns. If you get Marino in a league today with that quick release, where you can't touch the receivers after 5 yards, it's like all finesse now. It's like flag football. And you got a guy like Marino. 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, bang, 1, 2, 3, bang. With that quick release, he would eat defenses alive.
But the thing
he was the only guy who beat the Chicago Bears. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. But the thing that Brady did do is he went to Tampa his first year, got his ass kicked the first 6 games. I've never seen him, I said it last night, I've never seen him get hit more in his entire career than he did in fucking those first 6 games. Somehow, at 41, 42, he took those.
More. He's my age.
He got
like 40.
He got mangled the first 6 games and won the Super Bowl. Now, I know he didn't win this year, but he's first year, leaving Belichick, and he won. To me, he's the GOAT. Heath, you think Montana?
You know what it is? Would Tom Brady have been able to be as successful in a rough league like that? Tom Brady's not a rough guy. Tom Brady, without protection,
done.
Look, the Giants did. They beat him twice.
Yeah.
I know those were lucky catches. If you would have thrown it here, Wes Welker instead of here, would have been a first down. There's a lot of ifs. If my mom had a penis, she would be my dad. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ifs. The bottom line is the Giants, for it to have remained that close until the end of the game in both games, is because the Giants' defense was able to keep it that close. They rattled Brady. They rattled Murley. You had a beast. That was one of the best defensive lines around. Pass rusher, Strahan, Osi Minura, Tuck. You had the other kid, Pierre Paul didn't come. He was in the second Super Bowl, not the first one. JPP. So, but still, those guys are treacherous And I just don't know if Brady would have been as good back then. Because think about those receivers getting manhandled there for 5 yards, and you can't protect this guy. So now you got to wait. This guy you got to wait for him to get open without the protection. I don't know if Brady could have been as good. Montana did it.
Yeah, he did. That's true, Rob. You got that bump.
But I got to tell you, another guy who did it in that era was John Elway. But Elway needed the running game until Terrell Davis. He didn't win.
Yeah.
And Montana had Roger Craig.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, the best ever.
Yeah, he had fucking.
You throw Rice a 3-yard pass, he'll turn it into a 75-yard play, right?
You ain't lying.
Right? A little 75 yards later, there he is, and then all you got to do is find John Taylor in the end zone. Boom, right? Nice little slam. Boom, hit him. It was like, do you know Montana? They call him Joe Cool. He's got ice in his veins. Do you remember in that game against the Cincinnati Bengals when they won 16-13, when he won it on the final drive? It was 13-9. And then they were in the huddle. The whole team was like panicking. Do you know what happened? When they're in the huddle, he's got 2 minutes and change left to bring his team down the field. But that's what happened. He hit Rice with a little pass. He made like a 60-yard play. Yeah. And then he was right there. While they were in the huddle, Joe Montana said, "Do you see who's up there? Look, John Candy's up there." He's like, "Yo, I love him." And but really, John Candy was in the crowd. And he said, "Yo, look who's up there." But without realizing it, he calmed everybody down. Huh. You know what I mean? Because everybody was and now he took them out of that. He took them out of what the task at hand was. He got them thinking about fucking John Candy. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he kind of settled them down.
Took the nerves out.
And then everybody, because Joe already beat Marino. That's another thing. Come on, bro. He beat Marino and Elway. He destroyed both of them.
Making my point better. I like it.
He destroyed both. He destroyed Elway 55-10, and then he beat Marino 38-16.
Right, so we did football. So what do you think about baseball?
Love baseball. Very, very excited for the upcoming season. Diehard Mets fan. We went and made some pretty big pickups. As you know, the team's under new ownership. The Wilpons were killing us. They were actually victims of the whole Bernie Madoff thing.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
He Ponzi'd them.
Really?
Somehow, some way, he took a lot of money from them. And it hurt us fans because they weren't able to spend what they wanted to spend because they took a hit from Bernie. Bernie got him.
Did he die?
Madoff?
Yeah.
No.
Or he's still locked up?
I don't know.
I
don't
can't remember. Damn, he got the Mets, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess when you're rolling around with a gazillion dollars, it's an easy sell, you know?
You're right. Because the way he's Ponzi and you're robbing this one to pay this one, and then this one thinks it's credible, you know what I mean? Because you're paying the one that you're taking from, but you're paying him from the last person you're taking from, and it just never ends.
It never ends. That's who else was doing that too? Like the kind of almost like
but not at his level.
No, he was doing billions levels, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, but he still kept his house though.
Who, Madoff?
Yeah, they still have his house.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they took I think. I could be wrong. They might have put a lien on it and had to get rid of it. Who knows?
Yeah, but, I'm a very big, the Wilpon, but now they don't no longer own the team. And Cohen over there, he's not worried about spending money. He is not worried about spending money. Even if the taxes are high, he said if it's for the greater good, baseball, he's ready.
Why do you think baseball pays so much more money than any other sport? I mean, no sport pays like baseball. I mean, soccer in other countries, but not here. But it still doesn't equal the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, but think about what baseball is, bro. It's
an American sport.
But it's 162 games. Yeah. And you pretty much play 162 days in a row.
A lot of games.
Bro, you got a 3-game series here, then you're flying to L.A. for 2 games, and then you're flying to San Diego for 3, and then you're going to Arizona. You're doing all that with no rest. And then maybe you got 1 fucking day off to come back to the East Coast. And now you're still on, California time. But now you wait. Trust me, it's a lot. I mean, I don't think anybody's worth, Come on, bro. You get these plays, they pay them $30, $40, $50 million a year. I don't know if anybody's worth that. Well, but then again, if they're putting people in the stands and people are paying to see them, then they are.
Because think all the money they're making off the jerseys, especially if you get like an authentic one. What's a jersey now? 200?
Oh,
I mean, it's tons.
Yeah. So, but, the Mets, They break my heart every single year. They always because the Mets are a big market team. They always spend money, and every year, around this time, see, I'm excited. The excitement starts now, and it's usually over by the end of April. Because they'll win a few games, and then before you know it,
they always do. They always my stepbrother, he was diehard Mets fan, and they always start off okay, and then after about 20, 30 games, that's it.
That's it. Then you see the losing streaks, and then the injuries. Injuries like you never heard of either. Like, what the hell? Who do you got in there as a pitching coach? All these pitchers are getting hurt. There's got to be something.
They're either practicing them too hard, making them throw out their arms.
The Mets had a great, probably one of the best young pitching staffs ever. You had Matt Harvey, Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Zach Wheeler. Syndergaard went to L.A. We didn't want to give him the money, so we went and got Scherzer. I wouldn't give him the money either. He's like 6'6". You know how violent his delivery is? How long do you think a guy that big is going to be able to throw that hard?
No more than 5 years.
You know what that does to your body?
Yeah.
But big guy like that. But then you get a guy like Scherzer. Scherzer's thin, lanky, and just knows. But when you got a big guy like that, Jacob deGrom, the stuff that he did last year, and he was hurt. I've never seen any pitcher do.
Do you think they have a shot?
The Mets?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you had to pick right now, who do you think will make it to the Super Bowl, and who do you think will make it to the World Series? If you had to pick right now, and if you win, we'll do a poll to give Lillo $1,000 if you get the right.
Tell you, Atlanta, they won last year.
Yeah,
they're still tough.
I was surprised.
Yes, Atlanta's still tough. San Francisco's still tough. I don't know if the Mets are that good yet. I gotta say,
Atlanta's pretty fucking good.
Atlanta's great,
and they didn't. I don't. As far as the last time I looked, they didn't lose anybody.
No.
They have the exact same thing.
No, they're it was crazy too. The guy Freddie Freeman. We had a CEO upstage. His name was Freddie Freeman. I remember Freddie Freeman just started playing. So I didn't know he was going to be that great. You know what I mean? But he's awesome. The American League. Boston started picking it up. Houston's always a good team.
I don't see anybody beating Atlanta as of now.
No, not right now. No,
unless something, a trade.
Dodgers. You know what's about the Dodgers?
They spend money. They spend money like the Yankees used to.
Yeah. The Dodgers spend money.
They might.
The Yankees are not what. After Steinbrenner died, I don't know if that.
I agree with you.
I don't know if that team will ever. They don't spend they would go out and get somebody just so somebody else didn't have them. They don't do that.
But that's how you do it. I mean, if you're going to have a team and you have the money, fucking get him, even if you just sit his ass. So
nobody else
knock down your competition. Right. So that $100 million you're spending, I mean, even if you get to the second round of the playoffs, you'll make that money back.
Right.
For sure, without question. Because you're going to have sellout stands.
Right.
That means every seat in that stadium's filled. All the merchandise, all the booze, everything else you sell.
Booze.
The VIP, the
they're
parking.
charging $13-14 for a fucking beer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jesus fucking. But you're at the game, so
yeah.
everybody figures, well, this is the one time we're out at the game. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Come on, go ahead, have one. Yeah.
They'll bring 500.
Amazing the money they fucking pay.
Bring 500, spend it, and still come home hungry.
Yeah.
Still stop and get pizza on the way home, right?
They'll stop and get the dollar menu, right? At McDonald's.
It's crazy.
What do you think about NFL?
I think the NFL. I tell you, the Bengals look good. They're a young.
I couldn't believe
Joe Burrow. He's that team is resilient. There's many.
How long were the Bengals? Don't forget about 12.
Yeah, but don't forget about Kansas City. They're still.
Yeah.
Because the Bengals had to play their hearts out to win that game, and Mahomes. I don't know if he didn't really choke, but it looks like he kind of just didn't play as hard. He doesn't really choke. He's too good to choke.
I think he might have been a little hurt.
Yeah,
remember he fucked up that foot pretty bad.
Yeah.
And everybody was looking at it like, oh, it's just a foot or an ankle or whatever. No, remember, that was the foot that he's putting that pressure on to fucking throw.
Yeah.
So you
hold back.
Yeah, you hold back, and where he fucked that up, I mean, that's got to be shooting up and then taking a hit. I mean, he's not getting hit by guys like us. He's getting hit by fucking,
he's getting hit by beasts, guys that, with that equipment on that know how to hit that big.
I'll tell you what, if Mahomes comes back and he's 90%, I think I think they take it.
The Chiefs got a solid team over there.
Yeah.
Rodgers go a whole season at home, not throw one interception at home.
Right. So I think Rodgers is. I think Rodgers is naturally gifted. He's like a LeBron. He's just a monster.
Rodgers would beat Brady in a quarterback competition. Right. When they throw out the targets and stuff like that, Rodgers will beat Brady at that. But that means nothing.
Nothing.
Because at the end of the year, when it's 2 minutes left and I need a fucking guy's going to lead my team, I want nobody else other than Tom or Joe Montana.
One of the
Or John Elway's another one.
John Elway. Yeah. Never got enough credit and never will.
Because let me tell you something. John Elway can do things that Brady and Montana can't do.
But
John Elway runs, man.
But what about Peyton Manning? That guy was fucking cracked his neck and fucking won.
Nah. I don't he's not even in that league. You know what he is to me? He's with Marino. Even though he won that ring, the first ring he won was because Brady was hurt that year, or he would have never beat Brady. And the second ring he won, he wasn't even the quarterback all year. The other guy was the quarterback. He got him, Weiler, whatever, Bruce Weiler.
Bruce Weiler,
yeah. He got him to the Super Bowl. He played in the Super Bowl. So you didn't really get him there. And the defense won that game, remember? Mm-hmm. The defense won that game. So it's when they beat and I think that game is fixed anyway, against Carolina. It looked like Cam Newton was taking falls because they wanted Peyton Manning to go.
I did think that too.
Yeah, because it's like the storybook ending.
He's a beast, but he keeps getting fucking hurt. Newton's good. He is. He's up there. When he's not hurt, he's up
but
there.
he's done now. He'll never come back.
What was the last one injury he had?
Yeah, but he can see when he went to the Patriots. Yeah, he's done. He's
done for. Yeah,
but you know, Peyton Manning for me, he's a choker.
The reason why I brought him up was because I was really impressed with how he came back from that neck surgery and worked his ass off. Like, I like to see hard work. And
yeah. No, I give him that. Yeah, but look what he did with Denver. He was unbelievable. You see what he did in the regular season.
Yeah.
But see, as the games get closer to the big games, that's when he starts getting worse. He'll fucking break 90 records, but that don't mean anything. His brother Eli's better than him in the playoffs.
He was like McNabb. Would kill it during the season, and then the playoffs just fucking choke until the dumbest passes on the planet.
McNabb got to that one Super Bowl, though. Remember Brady beat him?
I was at Dave and Buster's watching it.
Oh, in
fucking
Philly.
Screaming. Yeah, right there on Spring Garden and Delaware Avenue. We were all at Dave and Buster's screaming. Fucking Owens was wide open. Remember? He did a cut right. He was wide open. All Donovan had to do was turn and just throw it. And at this point, Owens was just on another level.
Yeah, but he had the broken leg, though, remember?
Yeah, but he was still catching. He was like a Rice at the time with a fucking broken leg. You could have tossed that even near me.
But he was in a jerk. But he's a jerk off. Rice is not a jerk off.
No, Rice is on a whole.
Terrell Owens. The reason that guy was so talented, but nobody wanted to play with him because he was like a cancer on the team.
Yeah.
But
shame, huh? Because he had all the.
No. I give him a lot of credit. Yeah, and play hurt like that and be that successful in a Super Bowl at that level.
You got to give him credit.
They can say whatever they want.
Maybe he cried and bitched and moaned and trash talked, but the man played hurt. And that tells you he loves the game, and there's nothing you can't take that from.
No, you're absolutely
his personality, right. Fuck it, ignore it. His skill and his hunger was there.
Absolutely. What about hockey? You like hockey?
A little bit. I could never really get into it.
I used to be big back in late 80s, 90s with Mario Lemieux and the Penguins. But that sport, then you got all these new expansion teams.
Yeah, what the fuck is all that shit?
I think that kind of ruined the league. It did, but it didn't. I'm not into hockey the way I used to be, although I was watching a game on the plane last night. I was watching the Capitals versus the Oilers.
I watched the Rangers 2 days ago. Rangers.
I like playing hockey.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a fast sport. You got to be in shape to play fucking hockey, man.
Yeah. But you know what it is? I like playing roller hockey. You know where I like to play? In the tennis courts. Because the tennis courts are smooth. And we go to Welty Field, the whole side. There's 3 courts. And we put the nets and gliding around. And we use the fences, the fucking boards. But it's soft because the fence, like you got the give. Banging guys up against the rope. You know what I mean? Against the boards. We haven't played in a while. But I used to love that, man.
I was big too. I used to have Flyer jerseys because it used to be big. And as a kid, I would go to watch them get smashed into the glass and shit.
Oh, the crowd goes nuts because when you're at the game and you hear that's rough.
You hear the bang.
It's violent.
It's cool. I used to sit up front there. My dad would take me and we watch it. And as a kid, we're just looking for the hits.
Yeah.
What I mean, now they don't hit like that anymore.
See, my dad.
Everything's so watered down.
Yeah. Now forget it. My dad. He's old school, so he loves soccer, football. He liked it, but it took him a while to understand it. Hockey was easy for him. It's the same thing as soccer on ice. So you got the defenseman, the goalie, the forwards. So he knew the object. This is what it is. This team, you got to defend. This guy's defending, and they got to score. So he loved it. He loved Mario Lemieux because I was a big Lemieux fan. So I guess the name Mario was Italian, so my father loved them.
Oh yeah, my grandpa did too.
Yeah, we used to
He
go to
was like
games. We used to go to games. Like when Mario Lemieux was in like the Garden, we go see him. I remember one time we booked a ticket, March 26th. It was 1989. It was Easter. I didn't realize because I had the Rangers calendar and I saw Pittsburgh. So I told my mother, book the tickets. Call up. She called Ticketmaster, got the tickets. We got them. But then I realized, I said, shit, that's Easter Sunday. So we still went. Remember John Van Beesbrook?
Hell
the Beezer?
yeah. Hell yeah.
Lemieux got him on a breakaway, one-on-one. Lemieux put it right up in the corner. Boom, right up in the corner.
What do you think's a tougher sport, hockey or soccer?
In what sense?
Well,
I think
I guess endurance. I mean, both you got to be in shape like
soccer's harder.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you're not
think so,
you
too. That's a big
do
feel, bro.
You do a little push, the skates move you.
Yeah.
If you don't soccer, nothing move you but you, and it's 110 yards.
I know.
You're not in that little ice. Tougher as far as what's more violent, what's more likely to knock your teeth down your throat and get fucked
Yeah,
up.
obviously hockey, but as far as being in shape, definitely soccer. That feel when when I always watch the World Cup, my cousins call me from Sicily and shit, because that's football over there.
Yeah.
And that's their world. Like NFL over there, they can give a fuck.
Right.
MLB, they don't give a
They
fuck.
don't give shit. They do like basketball though.
They like NBA which I like NBA a lot.
Basketball. There's a
Yeah, they like NBA and football, which is soccer. That's
there was an Italian kid.
and boxing, of course.
There was an Italian kid. He came out of the draft #1.
No, I did not. But I'll tell you what, man. I think for some reason I got a feeling with this sleepyhead. I think this is going to be a bomb.
I hope and
the one with
I'm
Meadow,
on fire. Yeah,
shortstop.
that's going to be really. I think it's going to really resonate with people. It's like
Everybody's going to watch it because it's you and Meadow. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah, but this. But just
and then
know,
it's good too.
There's a lot of substance. It's full of substance. It's well written, well acted. It's well shot. The soundtrack, the song Gloria, that's on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It takes place in the 80s. It's awesome. And the song Bruce Springsteen, from what I heard, he gave us that song. Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go? He gave us that song because from what I heard, he was a victim of child abuse.
Oh, okay.
So, that I mean, not. I was about to say that would be a great thing. It's not a great thing that he was a victim of child abuse, but it would be a great thing to have his support
Involved in it.
and
yeah.
involved in support.
And I'll tell you what, a good time for this to come out too, because I think a lot of shit happened with the pandemic, with people being at home that aren't used to being at home. Domestic violence went up through the roof.
Yeah, because people are drinking.
They're drinking.
They're abusing their wives and this and that and. That should have been the time when you did things you never had the time to do.
Right.
That now you have the time to do.
But you couldn't go anywhere.
Right. Permitting that this all these rules and these
I think the biggest thing is that the guy or woman or whatever, right? They're used to going to work all day and not dealing with the husband or the wife or the kids, and now you're home all day and all night with the wife, with the kids, or with the husband and the kids. And then when you're with them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for months with the pandemic, that's when you get the divorce rate going through the roof, the drug abuse going through the roof, everything else. But
I hope it's going to be over. I just hope that, we do everything we can as people that live in this country and, state to state, do whatever we can to make this easier and go away and to expedite it and just to because I think and as humans, stay healthy.
That's it.
If you get sick, you have a way better shot fighting it. That's it.
And last thing, what do you think about these gas prices? Whew. I mean, it's going to go even higher.
Well, I think all this is going up and up and up to push green energy,
Which I don't get it, because first off, there isn't even enough battery shit to make enough cars. Like right now, if we wanted to be all electric tomorrow, cars, there isn't enough.
There's
not enough
It's not capable.
It's not capable.
There's the capability isn't there.
And then the other part of that, Lillo, is getting rid of that material with the battery when it dies out is way worse than fumes coming from an exhaust.
Yeah.
Think of a battery and how toxic that shit is, and then you're putting it in the ground. where animals are, that plants grow, that food grows from the ground.
And stuff that will, and then cancer rates are gonna skyrocket. Who the hell knows?
So you're killing the ozone with the cars, but you're killing the fucking food and the ground that we use for everything with the electric. So I mean, I don't know. It's just just a bumblefuck.
Yeah, let's just hope and pray for the best.
That's it.
And just make the best decisions and be the best us, and hopefully everything else works out.
And keep rocking with the shit.
You know what it is, man? The way I say, my manager told me this, and I remember him saying this, and it's just like it makes so much sense. When you're living life, you got to be like a thoroughbred, like one of the racehorses with the blinders on. Mm-hmm. Don't look. You can't see anything on the side. Just look straight ahead and go straight ahead. Don't worry about that or that or that. Right here, straight through.
And don't let anything get in your way.
Right. Don't get distracted. Oh, I got to get a vaccine. Who cares? Everything will be over soon. Everything will be, one day we'll be saying, remember that year we fucking went mashed, the guy was yelling. You know what? It's going to be over soon. Just, last thing I don't like, I don't like seeing people yell at each other with the masks and the thing. You give no right, pandemic or not, to talk to another human being like that. But also, like I said, you have a lot of people with pre-existing conditions that can die. So just, respect.
But respect others. And if you're in that situation, there's 10,000 other places you can go,
right. Absolutely.
And again, like you said, in a year from now, this won't even be talked about.
Let's hope for a year from now. Maybe 2 years.
I'm trying to be positive, motherfucker.
2 years. I'm going to put my money on 2 years.
Probably 2. What are we, 2022, 2024? Probably 2024. Right? All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. And,
thank you. I appreciate yours.
I'll see you in, 6 weeks maybe?
We'll get that person, that girl we were talking about. We'll get her on the show. I spoke to her about it. She was excited, and I'd love to meet you. And saw the first one that we did and liked everything about it, and was just say the word, and we'll make it happen.
Awesome, and I'll back him. I'll back him before she comes. I'm just playing with you. Yeah. All right, Lillo. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, brother.
All right.